And this is Sports with an Accent, Deportes con Acento. Here's your host, Robert Soltero.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Sports with an Accent, Deportes con Acento. I am Robert Soltero along with Brian Rios and Seth Pollock. How are you guys doing today?
I'm doing pretty good.
You guys doing good? Cool. So, an interesting week in the world of sports. We got a couple of things to talk about, especially the NBA. The second best franchise in basketball won their 17 title last night.
Wow, second best.
The second best. I mean, it took them till this point to get 17, more than a decade than it took the Celtics. But yeah, the second best franchise got their title. LeBron wins his fourth NBA title, and we're gonna talk about that along with the MLB. Speak about the White Sox. The rumor going on that today they fired the coach, and the rumor is that they might consider hiring either Alex Cora or AJ Hinch. So we'll be talking about that, along with the matchups from the ALDS and NLDS, and we'll talk about the ALCS and the NLCS. We'll also talk about college football, what happened this weekend, a lot of upsets, so we'll talk about that. And the NFL, we'll talk about Dak Prescott's injury, some really bad injury for him, and it's been a tough year for him, so we'll talk about that. What team surprised us or disappointed us this week? And is Jimmy G the guy for the 49ers, or are they going to make a switch soon? We'll talk about that. So, are you guys ready?
Yeah.
By the way, before we start, the Tampa Bay Rays, who are currently playing the Houston Astros, took a 4-1 lead right now. So, in the bottom of the seventh. So the Rays are looking good, and they might take a 2-0 lead in this series. So we'll talk about that later. But first, as we said, we'll go NBA, MLB, college football, and NFL. So we said the Lakers won the title last night, their 17th championship, their first one since 2010. What are you guys thoughts about this, like the Lakers winning?
Not surprised. I was expecting it already by game 5. Like Jimmy Butler he was running out of gas. He was so exhausted by game 5 that it was just like you read it in the air. And then you realize that like the biggest problem that the team actually had was that like the Heat had matching up versus the Lakers was the fact that there was no big guys. Mm-hmm. For the Heat, and the fact that like LeBron and AD could match up with any one of their players. So like it doesn't surprise me the Lakers won. It wouldn't surprise me if they go for more, but they need to do something to that roster, or they need to expand it a little bit more, because it really, towards the end of the last two series, it just really felt like AD and LeBron were just a step ahead above everybody else. Like they really needed playoff Rondo to like show up,
and he did.
Like if Rondo didn't show up, it would be difficult for the Lakers to repeat. So, like, they really need to find something else. Maybe it's Avery Bradley coming back.
Yeah, maybe everybody was good for them, and he opted out.
Maybe
so that kind of hurt for them.
Maybe it's finding some other energy and some other players to sign into that like team. But like, it felt like a lot of the bench was very useless. Like, and I'm pointing towards like JR. Waiters, like Quinn Cook, like it.
By the way, mentioning Quinn Cook, they left them yesterday in the arena. The bus left.
Oh wow! Like they didn't give that guy a chance. It felt like
it's funny because JR was celebrating in the bus and he was in his IG live, and then Quinn Cook was like, "Bro, get me! You guys left me in the arena."
Well, I feel like that could be a movie, Trapped in the Bubble. After the bubble closes.
Sealed in the bubble. So
But
yeah,
yeah,
I mean that's really my thoughts upon that series. Congrats to LeBron, congrats to AD,
yeah.
and I think they can repeat, but it will take a little bit more to repeat. Like it can't just be the same exact roster.
What you
Yeah,
said?
I just taking like a long view of this, not just yesterday or the series, but going through the playoffs. I'm of course thrilled for LeBron, but I remember like Stan Van Gundy, who's one of the guys I trust on basketball more than anybody. He was saying how the Clippers. Yeah, I think he said he would be shocked if the Clippers didn't win the West, just because they had a better overall team. Lakers had
Mhm.
LeBron and AD, of course, but the Clippers overall had the better team. To see that LeBron James being LeBron James can still be the difference to win an NBA Finals in 2020. I mean, it's spectacular because I back after the 2016 season when after the crazy comeback from 3-1 down when the Warriors got together and became the Super Warriors. I didn't think that LeBron James being LeBron James, it was going to get the Cavs out of the East, and it did for 2 more years. But to lead to another championship is awesome. And I didn't. This was one of my favorite NBA playoffs ever, just because there was so much. There were so many storylines. There was so much going on that you didn't know was going to happen and didn't see coming. Like Clippers Nuggets, that was absolutely insane to see the Nuggets win that series in the way they did. To see the Clippers choke the way they did. I know we're going to be doing power rankings later, but just everything that happened in the playoffs through the finals, um, it was interesting because there was so much new in this playoff. There was so much Luka. You had the Nuggets kind of coming of age. You had all this stuff, but at the same time, LeBron James being LeBron James is what did it in the end, along with Anthony Davis, of course. But it's like this could be like 2012 again, just with LeBron James winning a championship. Super impressed by the Heat. Super impressed by what they did. I mean, I thought they might be a contender in the East this year just because the East was so weak, but to actually win the East and then with all the injuries they had to give LeBron like a legitimate finals and steal 2 games, that's super spectacular. Jimmy Butler is a superstar. But yeah, I was thrilled to see the Lakers win. Of course, you got for Kobe, all that stuff. So yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah, like both of you guys' points, and I completely agree in the way that they need to get other pieces of that team. Um, Rondo really helped them a lot. I think the players you got to give the most credit to on that team were like Rondo and Caruso. I mean, Caruso had like what 4 points yesterday, but you can see the type of energy he brings to the team and defensively what he does. He might not be the scorer, he might not be the guy that does it all, but he impacts the game in other ways, and he did that yesterday. And I just think if they'll probably make a trade, and they just gotta get out of Danny Green. I feel bad for the guy. He got received death threats, especially to his wife, fiance. My bad. He received death threats after he missed that shot previous games. But like, yeah, I don't think he should be the starter next year for the team. I think he'll be gone. It'll probably be Avery Bradley, but they need other pieces for the bench. And my other thing is, I'm happy for the guys who won the first championship, especially Dwight. I used to love Dwight when he was younger in Orlando. I mean, he was a very young play, a very fun player to watch, and he finally won a championship in Orlando, which is kind of funny if you guys think about it that way. And Rondo used to be my favorite player when he was in the Celtics. Uh, and then a couple things happened along the way. But here he is, and he wins. He's the first player to win a championship for both to win championship with both the Celtics and the Los Angeles Lakers. Technically, he would
Some
be the
people,
second.
in some parts, people call that treason.
Technically, he would be the second, but that is when you include the Minneapolis Lakers, which I'm not including that.
I mean,
But
I
like,
would.
yeah, you would. So he's the
Yeah.
second.
What? Yeah. By the way,
Yeah.
if you want to talk about greatest franchise in NBA history, I mean, of course, you guys are tied for titles. So I think the thing you got to look at there is the tiebreakers conference finals. And the Lakers have won 32 Western Conference championships, and the Celtics have won 22. So I got to give with their 17th title, I got to give the Lakers the edge right now. Still a lot of time to go if we're talking about eternity.
It took them more than a decade to tie us.
Yeah,
Actually,
but they did now, and they've won.
Also,
more
Seth, you have to
conference titles.
consider that. You also have to consider that a lot of there's a bunch of Celtics titles that were really early on into like the NBA.
Yeah, what 11 of those are Bill Russell?
Yeah.
A lot of the
So, yeah,
Lakers
which
ones
is-
were
You have
early,
to
too,
you have to consider like the level of competition, like compared to like the Laker championships.
I feel like you're implying, like I know we saw it this week. There was a GIF that was all over Twitter about football in the 1930s, about how awful it was. It showed this guy just kind of like trying to pass a ball, and this dude couldn't catch it, and then the defender fell down for some reason. It was awful. But I feel like you're implying that 1940s and 50s basketball was of a similar level of competition to football.
It was like Bill Russell just caught the ball.
Yeah.
Around
They were still playing with peach baskets at that time.
Have you guys seen George Mikan play?
Yes.
Yeah.
That feels like what you're explaining to me right now.
Oh,
Yeah.
Well, yeah, exactly. Yeah. God. He was with
All
the
right,
Lakers,
you want to
right?
go to the next topic, or do you want to keep on throwing flowers at the
Yeah,
Lakers?
I guess the next topic is about the Lakers and Celtics. So, who will take the lead in titles next? First, the Celtics or the Lakers?
Oh, this is easy right now. I think it's the Lakers, my friend. I'm sorry, but like, I don't know. I don't know. Like, it's hard because the Celtics are actually a pretty good team, and it feels like they're like almost there at the hump. But man, this Laker team just feels whole, and I feel like this LeBron story is not complete yet. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you could smell it. You can smell in the air like LeBron. It ain't over. It ain't over. Space Jam's coming out. He's gonna be a superstar. And it's gonna be like, you remember when Jordan like was winning like his 5th and 6th like after
Space Jam's gonna take out 2 more years.
What?
That movie's been in the works since like 2014, and it's gonna come out like in 2 more years.
That's fine. Superstar. And then it's gonna come Bronny. And Bronny's gonna come out, and then he's gonna. I swear to God, he's gonna stay in the NBA until like they get Bronny James. And I don't know how they'll end up playing together, because I think like Bronny is pretty talented. That I don't see him going to the Lakers low in the draft. You know what I'm saying?
Bronny better watch out. Bronny better watch out, because his dad's going to his house going back to LA right now, and he's gonna get a very lengthy conversation. You guys know what I mean?
I heard something about like Bronny should be scared on Twitter, but I didn't look into it, so no.
It was because like 3 weeks ago, Bronny was live on Instagram Live, and he was smoking weed.
LeBron, let your son live.
Like everybody's like, this is the end for Bronny.
It's not the end, but he could get a stern talking. I don't know. Who knows?
You know, I think Bronny needs a little better foundation educationally than he's getting right now. I think he should go to the LeBron James I Promise School in Akron, and just to bring LeBron back to Cleveland, and just have Bronny.
No.
Or Bronny
He's got,
go to St. Vincent St. Mary's. Either way.
LeBron's gonna give Bronny the full experience, and instead of making him live in a rich house in Los Angeles, just send him to Cleveland.
Yeah.
I could totally see Cleveland drafting Bronny and like them like being like, this is the second coming of LeBron.
Yes.
And it's like, Jesus has come back. And
Yes.
it's like, all of a sudden, all the businesses in Cleveland, like, stock up. It's like the new economic boom in Cleveland
Mhm.
because
And
Bronny
somehow
James.
somehow
Dude,
it'll
that'd
end
be
with Dan
amazing.
Gilbert doing
That by
something
the
wrong.
year Bronny, that'd be amazing. That if Bronny is that good to be the number one pick, and then in the year that Bronny gets picked, that Cleveland has the number one pick, and they pick Bronny, that'd be amazing.
That would be amazing.
He could be. This is
It could
still,
be. I mean, the Cavs
mean,
might
the
suck
guy-
for a
I mean,
number
I
of
don't
years.
know. I don't know what his
these
talent level is.
these are all
He was
things
bench-
that are
he was the bench
like
player
in the
this year.
high likeliness of possibilities compared to other teams. here.
Okay, but my question is, what if like Bronny goes to like gets drafted by, and this is years down the road, so it could happen, like Milwaukee or something. Do you really see LeBron living in Milwaukee? He's like, oh, I'm gonna play with my son in Milwaukee or someplace like that.
You know, the
I
Lakers
see
thing-
like LeBron saying like trade Anthony Davis for Bronny.
they're like, do
like
everything. to get
I
the
have
number
no
one pick.
idea.
They're gonna do everything to get the number one pick.
I don't know. First of all, I think that it would be highly unlikely that like the NBA would. I don't know how they, even though the NBA would try to make it happen.
This is gonna be the
Another
second
King
coming
Griffey moment.
of the Stern veto of the Chris Paul trade.
Mm-hmm. You know who suggested that, by the way, the veto?
Who?
Dan Gilbert.
Oh,
Douche.
Yeah, I hate to say it.
yeah.
But by the way, in answer to your question, I got to agree with Brian here. Although part of me really, really wants to go with the Celtics because, like, just two play.
You hate the Celtics.
I do hate the Celtics, but just two playoff series ago, we were talking about the Celtics being the favorites for the title. People were saying that for this year. Another year of development for their young guys, maybe a fully healthy roster in the playoffs. And like you guys said, the Lakers, in order to repeat, it's going to be harder next time. I could definitely see, of course, the Celtics winning the next one. So I thought, well, the Lakers basically, in order for this iteration of the Lakers to win another one before the Celtics win one, it has to be over the next couple of years, because then LeBron's going to be out of his prime afterwards. And the Celtics are going to have so many more cracks at it. But the thing is, the Lakers are the Lakers. So after LeBron's out of his prime, who knows who else teams up with AD, assuming he stays in LA. Like, I mean, 5 years ago, the idea of LeBron in LA, that was probably kind of considered a pipe dream. I remember back when Kobe was playing there, the idea was Kobe versus LeBron, but nobody, I don't think, thought, oh yeah, LeBron's going to be a Laker. So everybody wants to play in LA.
Yeah.
Boston has a lot of history, but not everybody wants to play in Boston. So that's why I say that even 3 or 5 years down the line, assuming that neither of them have won again, then the Lakers have a pretty good shot after that. But the Celtics, I mean, I would put it at like 55-45, because the Celtics could definitely win next year. And they could win. But the thing is, the Lakers, I feel like with AD and LeBron like leading their team, they have what? At most 3 cracks left at winning another NBA Finals. The Celtics, they got a prime there. They got prime players for maybe the next decade, assuming they all stay together.
I mean, you could think of it. They wouldn't have showed those games. They would have been in the NBA Finals because they showed 2 of those games. So they would have been there. Yeah.
I don't know, 55-45. Wow.
Yeah, because I'm not saying, because the Lakers could repeat next year, but I'm not taking them over the field. I would put them as the favorites, but I wouldn't take them over the field. And the Celtics, I think, are going to win an NBA title in the next 5 years. It's going to happen.
And you say that you don't see the Lakers winning another NBA title in the next 5?
I think it's more likely the Celtics.
I think LeBron gets.
I think it's more likely.
I think LeBron gets to 5.
What?
I think LeBron gets to 5 championships.
I think LeBron gets to 6, maybe.
I hope
I
hope he gets to 6. I don't think he's gonna get to 6.
At a certain point, how long have people been saying that LeBron's like going to be a diminished version of himself?
This should have happened.
At some point, it's going to happen.
I can't. Even if at some point it's going to happen, Fine, Seth, but even if at some point it's gonna happen that there's a diminished version of LeBron, I think LeBron has become a good enough of a shooter to like evolve his game to a type of game that was like Kobe-esque towards the end. You know what I'm saying? That like
but like you're saying, the Lakers are going to need a lot more help in that case.
That's what these years are for. These are the recruiting years. These
I
are the
also
ones
like
let's build the super team
But here's
again.
the thing. This should have been the fifth championship because 2011 we thought was going to be the second one.
The question.
Yeah.
I just put 2 minutes
So
on
with
the timer for you.
the first one, my bad. The first one, my bad. Should have been.
But yeah, I like also, Brian, that you said, assuming if that does happen, if LeBron does become a diminished version of himself, I think in basketball that's bound to happen. Whether he's 50 or 60, at a certain point he's going to slow down. Just because, I mean, at a certain point, time is going to do its work. Just because, like, this isn't how human beings work. Although he's proven time and time again that he does not work the way other human beings work, assuming that he's not a robot, which is something I'm taking for granted right now.
I don't think there's a season where we're going to see him average less than 20 points. I
think he'll get injured or like he'll fake an injury.
In fact, has he ever scored less
that would be great.
His rookie year has to be the only one, right?
What?
His rookie year has to be the only one where he scored
of what? I think he might have scored 20 points a game in his rookie year too.
Really?
Oh, Robert, I think it's your turn to answer the question. What do you say? Is it more likely a Celtics or is it more likely the Lakers?
Yeah, he averaged 20. Wow, he's never averaged less than 20. Okay.
I made that question so dramatic and you didn't even answer.
I think we win it next year.
When he says we, is because he considers himself part of the Celtic organization.
Yes. I mean, I think that it's gonna be the West is gonna be harder next year, and the Lakers are gonna see that they need to improve a little bit more. I mean, they'll try to do it now, but I still think they'll struggle. But just my thought process is that there's gonna be another big trade in the West this summer. Well, not summer, but in the off season that they're gonna have. And then there's gonna be another trade, and it's gonna be harder. And then the East is gonna be harder because they got the Nets with a healthy Kevin Durant and all that. So we'll see. But I think the Celtics, what I told you guys they needed to do was get another guard and get a center. And I think they'll do that. So
the thing is, ready. Though,
plus you get a second year of Kemba Walker being in Boston.
The thing is, though, the Heat, I think we've discovered the Heat aren't just like, I remember, I don't remember, but I remember hearing about like 02, 03 when like the Pacers and the Nets made the finals just because there was nobody that great in the East to like lose to the Lakers, be the sacrificial lamb to Spurs or Lakers. Like the Heat are legit, and not only are they legit, they're going to get better. Like we all agree on that, right?
Hero is going to be a beast next year.
You got to see the evolution of a hero there.
Yeah. So
Celtics beware, as well as the Lakers beware the Clippers. So
I think the Clippers got it first.
And the other thing is, I don't even know. Like we're really forgetting about the Warriors here. I think everyone's really forgetting about the Warriors.
I just thought of too. How crazy would it be in the Western Conference Finals next year if the Lakers lose to the Clippers? So Battle of LA, Lakers lose, and the Clippers are coached by Ty Lue.
Yeah.
So
he doesn't have the job yet. But...
He doesn't have the job yet, but if LeBron lost,
I think it's funny. I was reading yesterday, and this reporter that I follow that talks mostly about the Celtics. He said that he saw Frank Vogel after he was fired from Orlando at a supermarket, and he was getting a pack of beer, and he had a really big beard, and he asked him, "Are you enjoying the time off?" And I was like, "Sure do." So then next year he gets the job as the Lakers.
But hey, the unsung hero, man, Frank Vogel, unsung hero.
I know.
Everyone,
I know.
everyone was like, "Oh, what a horrible hire." Jeez.
Imagine. So he left Indiana. Or he got fired from Indiana after really being overall pretty successful there. I think people would say.
I mean, it's hard to win in Indiana.
Well, so. and he took over a team. I think didn't he take over a team and then like win their next 12 games? Like when he took over, I think as an interim head coach, he won his like first 12 games or something absurd like that. And he gets fired from there and he takes the Orlando job. I mean, you can't get any better than the Orlando job. And then a couple of awful seasons in Orlando, gets fired there. And your next assignment, you coach the Los Angeles Lakers, led by LeBron James. I mean, it's weird how careers work out sometimes.
But he was great fit. Like, honestly, weird, but great fit.
Yeah.
When a guy has talent around him, it works.
So before we end talking about the NBA, well, we just ended it. I just want to add one more thing. And I just saw this, and this might be the stupidest thing I've seen in quite a while. And I've seen a lot of stupid things.
Put it up to the camera.
Can't see it. Something about, is it the Tyler Hero, Klay Thompson thing? Or is it Duncan Robinson?
Duncan Robinson is a better catcher than Klay Thompson.
Mm-hmm.
Not yet. Not ready to say.
Not even yet. Not even close yet. The dude's doing consistently for like 7 years, and this guy does it for 1 year.
That's someone from Miami trying to like create. You gotta understand.
It's
there's
funny.
publicity
It's funny because the guy says, "Learn basketball and shut up, you casuals." You're the freaking casual.
Okay, I agree with you. But then again, you got to think about. Remember how obnoxious Miami Heat fans were when LeBron was in Miami?
Even Damian Lillard said
they're just as obnoxious when LeBron's not in Miami.
I didn't know they existed when LeBron's not in Miami.
Come on, they did. Did they even have a championship? Oh, yeah, they did have one, right? It was only one that they had?
Yeah, the Wade Shaq, man.
Yeah,
Wade Shaq, Gary Payton, Alonzo Mourning. White chocolate.
The Mavericks.
And then you know that's how next year the Alonzo Mourning gift happened.
Oh yeah, yes, it was Game 1 against the Chicago Bulls. I remember that night, and the next day they lost by 42 points as the defending NBA champions, and one of the greatest gifts of all time.
What?
You know that meme, Brian?
What?
The meme. It was like a GIF that it's Alonzo Mourning, and he does like.
It's great.
I think I remember
that, right?
Yeah. And the camera just that
happened
perfectly.
The year after they won the championship because they were getting blown up in Game 1 of the season.
It happens. Game 1 of the season.
It's just funny that like we can see his thought process like completely on his face. Like, man, this really sucks. Well, we did win the title.
Yeah. So that will be the end of the NBA talk. Again, congratulations to the second best franchise in NBA history, Los Angeles Lakers. Finally, took you 10 years after,
12 years.
So what's your topic now, Robert?
Let's go to MLB. And we're going to start off with the White Sox firing Rick Renteria, their manager. And rumors say that they have other candidates on the list probably, but on a lot of people's heads right now are either AJ Hinch or Alex Cora that are being considered for the job. As you guys know, and AJ Hinch was the coach for the Houston Astros when they won the championship in 2017, asterisk, and the cheating scandal. And then Alex Cora was a part of that, but then he was also the coach for the Red Sox. But he basically got banned because of the Astros thing. So what do you guys think about this? Is it too early to hire any of these coaches, or should they not be hired?
I'm gonna say I don't know. Like it's weird because it's like since this year was not played with fans, it almost feels like no one got the repercussions of like the Astros cheating scandal. Like the Astros weren't booed anywhere. Like it's not like it wasn't as bad as it should have been. And like I think that it's just what you guys aren't accepting, that some franchises believe that everyone's doing it. And they just got caught.
I don't think everybody's
And
doing it.
these two are still great head coaches. They're still good baseball coaches. So I don't think they should be banned for like life. I would be okay with hiring him if they think that they could take that team over the hump, which it might be the case, because like at least those two head coaches, what they're really popular for is because they're locker room guys. And it almost felt like the White Sox, it almost felt like they lost the locker room within the last couple of weeks. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I don't mind. But that's me.
Yeah,
Let's see what's inside you.
I don't mind all that much. As I understand it, because I'm not a big baseball guy, but Hinch wasn't as involved, right? He wasn't like he kind of just let it happen, right?
Yeah, they just blamed it all on the Puerto Ricans.
Okay. Well, good. In that
Like
case,
they blamed it all on Beltran and on Cora. That's what it seems
Honestly,
like. Like that's how it.
Again, the story was that it was player driven, and Cora had to do with it a bit. Basically, Beltran was the guy, and I believe that Beltran was the guy.
okay, because if somebody just kind of let it happen, like let it slide, I understand that a lot more. And then again, it's like Brian saying, like, we don't know how much this happens. We don't know how much other teams cheat. For a whole clubhouse of guys to be okay with it for as long as they were, I mean, to the point where it didn't get out for a while, I have to think that something like this is going on with a good number of teams. So, but if somebody's not the ringleader, that kind of makes me more sympathetic to their case. But yeah, if they're good managers, then yeah, you hire them. I totally get that. Now the thing is, are they good enough? Because you're gonna have, I'm gonna guess at least some players who are gonna be upset with them getting hired, and you're definitely gonna have fans who are upset with it. Are you okay with maybe losing some support from your local fans? Are you okay with that? And are you okay with the abuse you're going to get on the road? Because some of this, it's what didn't happen, like Brian was saying, what didn't happen to the Astros this year is going to be on the Astros next year, but it's also going to be on anybody who hires one of these guys. But yeah, if they feel like, if the White Sox or any organization feels like this guy would put them over the top, I get it. I get hiring him. Also, apparently Tony La Russa is another candidate for that job, which I think is hilarious. So yeah,
no.
Yeah, don't hire Tony La Russa.
Yeah, don't hire Tony La Russa.
So yeah, go ahead.
I just feel like it's too early, man. I really feel like it's too early because of everything that's gonna come out of this, and I don't know if like teams are ready to trust them already. If I were to hire one of them, it'd be Cora. I think Cora has a better feel for the game than Hinch, and I also think he's better with young players in the clubhouse. I mean, we saw it happen in Boston, and they won. So, I mean, I would rather have Cora, but if I had to pick, if I had to pick, I wouldn't choose any of them. I just think it's early.
But okay, it's too early. But also, if you don't hire him and somebody else does, then it's not like you're going to get a chance a year later because it was too early the last time. So my question is, how much time is the right time?
But let's use this as an example. Let's say Kaepernick. You like a lot of people pass on Kaepernick, but then you hire them and then you regret it, right? It's kind of like that. What you're trying to say to me?
Wait.
Man, you should totally take back your example. Like, you should
I'm
totally
confused,
take back your
honestly.
example right now. Because
Wait, I just
you
thought.
totally should take it back.
Well, okay, let's go back.
First of all, because the Kaepernick thing, you're totally like, it's totally different thing. Because you're like, Kaepernick was doing a social stand, and then he was getting banned from like
Yeah,
the
I know.
league.
No, I'm just saying it. I'm just saying it in a point. I'm just saying it in a point of view. Like Seth is trying to say, like they will regret it later, right? If nobody hires.
Yeah,
them.
if you don't sign him and somebody else does. That's the thing.
Well,
The same thing
it's
could have
like
happened.
if
Same thing could have happened with
if they
Kaepernick
don't
if
sign
somebody.
it, somebody else does, they'll probably regret it.
Yeah, that's
I'm
what
not
I'm
saying
saying.
in a
Yeah.
way that what they. I'm not saying in a way that of what they did. I'm just saying in a way that you have an opportunity here. You pass it on, but like what you said, like somebody else will take. Will
That's
get them
exactly
on
what
the
I'm
team.
saying. Yeah. So, I mean, my question to you then would be, how much time is the right amount of time before they're welcome back? Before you would welcome them back?
I mean, going back, Kaepernick did nothing wrong.
Yeah.
These guys did. This guys did, and I don't think. Let's say 3 years.
But the thing is, you're kind of pulling that out of your behind. I mean, 3 years, 4 years, 2 years. Everybody's going to have different numbers. So you say, okay, 2 years later, I'm not really ready to hire him yet, but another year goes by. Okay, I'm okay with it. And I get it's a hard question because
It's gonna
there is
depend.
no right answer.
I think it was you, Seth, who said it's really gonna depend on the team situation.
Mhm.
And it's really how much they measure it up, how much they measure up that, like, oh, were other teams doing it? Were we doing it secretly? Like, you
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Like, and that could be the possibility that we're not considering.
And also,
and
I,
go ahead.
I was just going to mention, I think Robert mentioned, are you willing to trust them again? I mean, it's not like they were doing anything against the Astros. Not like they were screwing their own team. They were just screwing other teams. And
hell yeah, trust them. They're World Series winning coaches. And like, and they're relatively young.
Whoa, no. They're not World Series winning coaches. They're World Series winning cheaters. That's what they are.
They're World Series winning coaches
with an asterisk.
Cheaters.
Do you still put an asterisk on the Red Sox one?
I mean, yeah.
What?
If they
no, the Red Sox did it. They didn't do it during the World Series.
If they did it, did they do it during the season?
I think it was during this.
Okay, well, if you make the playoffs and then win the World Series, yeah, you should give them an asterisk too.
World Series winning coaches.
Let's check.
Robert, what? You don't have anything else to say about the topic? What are you doing? Looking at your phone? What are you looking at your phone?
I'm looking at the Red Sox one.
Okay, seeing when they did it, when they cheated. I mean, if they cheated during
it doesn't even matter. It doesn't matter. Okay, so according to the record books, there's no asterisks, and they're World Series winning coaches.
Oh no! Wait. So you think they deserve the championship?
No. Well, no one's taking it away right now.
But
I'm
do you
just
think
saying
they
that
deserve it or not?
it's still in their resume.
I feel like
hey, it is.
If you're applying for a job,
because everybody would have brain, know that they don't deserve it.
A title away from you. If you're applying for a job and no one's taking a title away from you, like, it's still there.
I mean, okay, but here's the thing. I don't know if you're just like trying to troll Robert a little bit with that answer too. But also, let's say somebody got I mean, of course, this isn't a perfect metaphor. Let's say somebody got a DUI, and you're thinking about hiring them for a trucking company, like to drive your truck. But let's say they got the DUI expunged from their record for whatever reason. Maybe there was like something the arresting officer didn't give them Miranda rights. So even though we all know that they drove drunk, they don't actually have a DUI on their record. Of course, it's not going to show up on their criminal record. But if I knew that, I wouldn't hire that guy. That makes a difference. You know, to me.
I mean, for me, it depends what type of crime they did.
Yeah, no, but I'm just saying, like, we can't just pretend that a crime didn't happen if a crime happened.
Yeah. Yeah. What happened to Brian?
I don't know. Maybe maybe he got eaten up by his own points. He committed a crime. The timer's still there, though. What I love is that the timer's still there.
Hey, Brian, can you hear us?
Can you speak through the timer?
Okay, we gotta wait for him.
Yeah, probably. Oh, wait, I see movement. This is like a hostage video right there. He's holding the timer hostage.
Globe Life Park is cheering that the Rays beat the Astros. Looks like a lot of Dodger fans in there.
So, hey guys, my computer crashed.
Oh.
And
Nice.
Wow, the timer certainly looks different this week.
yeah, totally. And it's weird because it crashed because it ran out of power and it's connected to the plug. So people who are watching us live, hey, this is what.
Wait. I'm surprised it's still going on YouTube.
Well,
Oh.
I'm surprised too. It says live in my thing, and for some
Anybody,
reason,
somebody want to check YouTube? Make sure we're still live there.
I'm surprised we're still going on live on YouTube. Somebody on the chat on YouTube can let us know.
I don't even know who the host is right now.
Somebody tweet at us, please.
It's still live on YouTube. Like I am still watching
It is
it.
still live. Yep.
Like, and it is weird. And I now, well,
The Columbus Day miracle.
apparently. So let me join in back in the meeting.
By the way, happy Columbus Day, everybody.
So that's why the DMV was closed.
Yep. Should have asked me earlier.
My license plates have been expired since May.
I wouldn't
Okay.
say that live on YouTube, but go ahead. Sure, whatever.
Totally said that live
Shit.
on that.
Yeah.
Okay, what's the next thing?
See, now I committed a crime.
No, you
Well,
already
technically, if you don't drive, you haven't committed a crime.
committed a crime.
Okay, you got to fix it up. Who's going to talk, Timer or Brian?
Oh shoot!
I think this is our best episode yet.
This is what happens when your computer crashes, people.
Hey, I know. I've had that issue a million times. It sucks.
Well, you're
Right? Yay!
1995. So
What?
Yeah, because Seth has Windows 95.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's why he uses his phone.
I when I get a new email, I still get the AOL. You got mail. Not actually true.
All right. So
You
what's
guys
the next
ready?
topic, Robert?
Okay, so let's talk about the previous matchups on the division series and go through what happened and our thoughts, and then we'll go through the ALCS and the National League Championship. You guys want to do that?
Sure.
No, let's just talk about the ALCS and NLCS.
Okay, so you guys don't want to talk about what happened with the Rays and Yankees.
I think we
Marlins,
can
Braves, and
bring
all
that talk within what
Well-
happens in the ALCS. What we're gonna talk about the ALCS.
Okay.
NLCS.
Okay. Okay. Sure. So let me just mention the Rays move on as they beat the Yankees in 5 games after Mike Brazeau hits a homer against Aroldis Chapman, the guy who in this earlier in like mid-season or like actually it was like towards the end of the season, Aroldis Chapman threw at this guy's head 100 miles per hour to his head, and bench is cleared. And then Mike Brazeau comes out the bench in Game 5 in the 8th inning, and the Rays take the lead So what a cool story for him. Then you got the Astros that played the A's, and that series went 4 games. I think all of us picked the A's, or maybe Brian picked the Astros, right?
I picked the Astros because they're the heel.
Okay. So that happened, and that went 4 games in Dodger Stadium. Then we had the Marlins and the Braves. The Marlins, unfortunately, they couldn't help us out in this one. Poor fish. But it was a cool story for the bottom feeders. They got swept by the Braves. And
Which
the
I said
Braves
they
are
would
headed
have.
to play the Dodgers in the National League Championship. As the Dodgers sweep the Padres, baby. What about that? Y'all said game. I said 5 games. And y'all said what? 5 games?
I think 4 games. I think I said.
I said 5. I said Kershaw
And I
on
was getting
relief.
pushed
I
all
didn't
back
year.
to
think, I
saying
didn't think it was
4.
gonna.
I said Kershaw on relief,
I
but
didn't
that was a
think-
little bit to torture Robert.
I didn't honestly didn't think the series was gonna go that way. And maybe in game 2 at the end, because it got really close at the end, game 2. But the Dodgers had a hit parade in game 3, and they scored 22 runs in the series. Only one of them came up a home run, which is insane because it's Dodgers and they hit a lot of home runs. But moving on, the American League Championship Series, we got the Astros and the Rays, and right now game 2 ended, and the Rays take a 2-0 lead in the series. And now I think no, Glasnow doesn't pitch tomorrow. He pitches game 4. I don't know who pitches tomorrow for them, but if it's an average pitcher, I mean, the Astros gotta do something tomorrow. They just gotta come back in the series.
I think that the heel,
So what do you
like
guys
the
think about
run is
this?
heel, is like coming to an end here. That's what's happening here. I think
mean,
the
Rays
thing is
better
that Tampa's a
The Rays
really
better-
talented team, and
Yeah.
like that's and like I think you saw it in the game that you're mentioning in Game 5 versus the Yankees. Like they used their whole bullpen. I mean, they used like a bunch of pitchers that they had at their disposal just to win that game, which is a sign of a team that usually goes far in playoffs and does well in playoffs. I don't know. It smells like this is the time that the Astros time is done, and that right now, the Tampa Bay Rays are gonna win this one, in my opinion.
Okay.
I don't know. What do you say, Seth?
Yeah, I mean, obviously when you have a 2-0 lead, you have a pretty good advantage, and they already have the talent advantage. I'm not sure, but I would just assume that the Astros are the first team with a losing record ever to make a championship series. And they'd be the first team to make or win a World Series with a losing record. So
That's
yeah,
just because of COVID season. That's
Yeah,
just because of
but
COVID
what if-
season. You
What if
can't.
it happened?
no, but
What?
it's still.
It would
wait,
never
wait,
have happened if it wasn't for COVID.
Yeah, but are you putting an asterisk next to their losing record? I mean, it's still a losing record that made it. Nobody's taking that away from
yeah,
them.
but like you said, it's the first time that it's happened. They're like, of course it is, because it's never.
Yeah,
a
but
team
I mean-
record has ever gone in.
Don't take away the making of
The-
the
the-
championship
the-
series with a losing
I
record.
mean,
Don't take that away
Yeah,
from them.
you got to be proud that with a losing record, you got into the playoffs.
Mhm.
Miracle.
And made it all the way to the Final Four. But yeah, when you already have a 2-0 lead, odds are pretty good. You're gonna pull it out when you have the more talented team, better record, all that stuff. So I don't know how many games this goes. Astros could win a game. I'll say they will. Rays in 5.
Okay. I'm picking the Rays in 5 as well. I mean, this Rays team is just as complete as it gets. Like, starting pitching, very good. Bullpen, very, very good. Lineup, it's just guys that know how to hit. They don't go for the big long ball all the time. They know how to get hits. They know how to pass the baton. And it's like, if you look at a player in that list in the lineup, tell me a star player there. There isn't. There isn't a star player. It's just guys that know how to play well. And we're seeing right now with an emerging star. They have Randy Rosarena right now, who's batting like 500 in the playoffs, which has been the story of these playoffs. And then you got the bullpen, who, like last year they were good, and the year before they were good. But the thing is, a lot of the guys in this bullpen, I didn't even know their names until now because they switched it up. They got different guys each year, and they're so consistent about it. So credit to management and credit to Kevin Cash. And the thing is, a lot of people want to say the Yankees were the better team, but the Rays showed it in the regular season. They were the better team. And they were the better team in the series. And I just think the Astros, like, their pitching's been fine, and I thought they was going to be worse, but it's been fine. And tomorrow you got Greinke, so you got a shot tomorrow. Then after that, like, you're going to go a second the pitcher who started game one is probably going to go a second time against the Rays lineup, and they're going to pounce on him probably. So I just think the series isn't 5. You guys have anything else to say on this?
No.
Yeah.
No, I got nothing else.
Okay. So let's move on to, actually, I think this is the most interesting series because these two teams are neck and neck in offensive categories and pitching. Well, no, but like in pitching,
Okay,
it could be
going on.
closer in the playoffs.
Hey, can
So-
I just interrupt? If you watch Monday Night Football and watch Chris Berman's hair.
His hair or this tear?
Hair. Chris Berman's hair. All of a sudden, Chris Berman turned ginger.
Nobody circles the wagons. like
Yeah,
this.
I'm thinking maybe he heard what Drinkowitz said and it's some sort of tribute, but that would be weird. Oh my
But
god.
yeah,
He looks like he's trying to look like, even without like the color of the hair, like a Revolutionary War guy. Like, my god, he looks like a wig. Is that his real hair?
I don't think so.
Wow.
But yeah, let's go back to the NLCS, which is the Braves and the Dodgers. And I think the series is going to go the distance, honestly. The Braves pitching wasn't that good in the regular season. They had a bunch of injuries. Mike Soroka out, Cole Hamels out, and they have the young guys in that rotation, and they were really good. They swept the Marlins, and I actually think they can give the Dodgers a series here. And you know what? You could say they can upset them, and I would understand why they could upset them. The Braves and Dodgers never met this year, so that might, I don't know, this could hurt either of those teams in the way they go through the run production and all that. But since there's a lot of both offenses are really good, I would give the nod to the Dodgers, but the Braves are really close behind them. What do you guys think?
I think the Dodgers win in 6.
Okay.
I can't. It just seems like the year of the Dodgers, and I can't like understate that at all. Like, it's just like, and they have the best lineup, and they have the best tools at their disposal, and it seems like everyone can play all these different positions, and it's just like, what? Like, it feels like this is their year, and maybe it's because of COVID. Maybe it's because of a short season. Maybe it's because there was like no lapses in the year and the season wasn't that long that like there wasn't like a losing streak in between. You know what I'm saying? But like
Yeah.
I can't see them all of a sudden go cold. You know? Like I can't see them
Yeah.
all of a sudden
I mean-
see the Braves all of a sudden stop them.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Seth, I'm
Honestly,
curious
you know
what
what?
Seth is gonna
I'm
say.
gonna go back. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So I got the Dodgers in 6 as well. I thought about even doing Dodgers in 5. One thing that's interesting, Robert pointed out to me just before we started that the Braves only scored 1 less run than the Dodgers all year, which honestly was pretty surprising to me. Now, I've been like for the last few weeks, at least last week, I think a couple times, I've been talking about the Dodgers run differential, how much higher their plus run differential is 136. The Padres were second at 84. It's a huge difference. And I know Robert last week, he was going after me. I think when the Dodgers were down in game 1 to the Padres for talking about run differential because it doesn't help them in the playoffs.
This is the October offense we always see. And then after that inning, like once I said that, they started scoring runs.
So maybe you should if I talk about it again and they fall behind with the Braves, you can try it again, see if it works. Yeah. But I'm going to stick with run differential being a major factor. But it is interesting to me that the way that the run differential is much different between the Braves and the Dodgers. 136 for the Dodgers, 60 for the Braves. But the difference is on defense and pitching, not on offense, where the Dodgers only have a 1-run advantage. That was surprising to me, just based off of how the Braves have done in the postseason. They've played 5 games, and I believe have shut out the other team in 4 of them. That's incredibly impressive. So to see how this pitching, how this defense is going to go up against the Dodgers, it's going to be a lot of fun. I don't know if they can slow them down enough that the Braves offense can produce enough in order to win 4 games. I don't think that's particularly likely, but who knows? I mean, not only did they shut down the Reds and the Marlins, you got to say that with emphasis. They shut down the Reds and the Marlins. So maybe they could at least slow down the Dodgers. Probably unlikely, but possible.
You know what? I'm going to change my pick to 6 games. But here's the thing with it. I feel like this matchup is going to prepare the Dodgers most than any other matchup they had in the last couple of years for the World Series. Because this is a really close team to what the Dodgers are. But since the Dodgers have the experience, I'll give them the edge. And we know what they're capable of doing. And then as I mentioned earlier, they scored 22 runs in the 3-game series with the against the Padres in 3 games. Only 1 run was a home run, which is Cody Bellinger's home run. Only 1, which is impressive, as we know the Dodgers hit the long ball a lot. And also the advantage that they have is they played already 5 games in this, actually 6 games in that ballpark. The Braves had played none. So the ballpark adjustment for them might be concerning tonight, at least for the Braves, and see how they adjust, because we know that ballpark plays long, and it's very hard to hit the long ball there. So we'll see how the Braves take it. But I think tonight it's going to help the Dodgers, even though if Walker Buehler goes 4 innings, because that's what he's been able to do because of that blister. But yeah.
It's interesting because I know you were upset about the ballpark last week because it kind of neutralized the advantage of the long ball. So in order to, it was kind of cool that they were able to change their scoring.
I'm kind of surprised.
Yeah, totally neutralized the long ball. Neutralized the long ball enough for Bellinger to be able to jump and steal a home run.
Yeah, exactly. That would have been a home run in 13 different ballparks. That would have been a home run in Dodger Stadium. The Tatis home run.
Yeah, and maybe it could have changed the whole series.
Yeah, but maybe the Dodgers did a few more homers too. At least there were a couple that you were actually talking about.
Game 1, they would have hit a lot of them. Yeah, but again, they've adjusted, and this is an offense that I haven't seen in the last couple of years in the playoffs, because we know that the Dodgers offensively tend to go ice cold sometimes. And in this 5 games, they haven't done that. So, especially in this ballpark. So I'm more confident than any other year in them in their offense. So we'll see how it goes. But I think the Dodgers win in 6. And you said 5, and Brian said 6.
Yeah, I went with 6. I said 6 originally, but I'm gonna change it to 5 just so I'm different than you two.
Okay. So yeah, I mean, we got to see what happens there. We'll probably talk about next week. The if it goes to 7, it's again like the other series. There was no breaks, so it's gonna be every day there's a game. So if it goes 7 games, we'll talk about it on Monday, the day after. Yeah, that is Yeah. Oh, the fun thing about this, there's gonna be fans today.
Oh,
The
really?
first time we're gonna have fans. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Cool.
So that'll be fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
They get to
let's
go
move
to the Home
on
Depot.
to yeah. Brad, have you seen the outside of the
Globe Life
Rangers
Field.
ballpark?
What? I'm sorry. I just found out Joe Morgan passed away. I hadn't seen the news all day.
Oh, I'm sorry that you just
Oh,
found.
really?
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
I didn't
sad to
know.
find
I
out.
didn't check the news all day. And I'm just like reminded of like Joe Morgan broadcaster. Not even
Mhm.
like baseball player.
Mhm.
Joe Morgan broadcaster.
Sunday night.
Joe Morgan had such a
Sunday
great
night.
voice.
I didn't watch baseball then, but I read that he was really good on Sunday Night Baseball.
He was so good. He had the best voice. Like honestly, for baseball, for me, like growing up, Joe Morgan's voice like was really like it was comforting baseball voice. Let's just put
Mhm.
it that way. Very knowledgeable about the game, but like I don't know, man. Yeah, I don't know. He was great. He was really great. Like not only as a baseball player, but as a broadcaster. I'm giving him props as a broadcaster because that really was what marked me.
Mhm.
Okay.
Oh, I did.
Let's move on to wait. I was going to say something. I forgot now. I'll talk about it later if I remember. So let's move on to college football and what happened this week. Sal, you want to lead us into that?
Yeah, sure. Let's talk some college football. Oh God. Let's talk some college football. I got my phone plugged in, and so I'm like I had to find like a surface just so it would be like somewhat upright. So I'm not sideways to y'all. But yeah, it was a fun weekend in college football. I think the couple of the major stories are that the best in the SEC East and the best in the ACC are still the best. Georgia's still the superior team in the SEC East. Tennessee gave them a game, but they really destroyed them in the second half. Tennessee looked like kind of last year Tennessee more than the step forward that we thought they might take. And Clemson obliterated Miami by more than the score would indicate. The score was what, like 38-17, something like. Clemson should have won by more points than that. I thought Miami had a legit shot in it. They clearly didn't. The gulf between Clemson and everybody else is clearly still very high. And I don't think Notre Dame is going to give them a game. If Miami can't give Clemson a game, I don't think Notre Dame will. I think that'll be at least 3 touchdowns. And I'm just really excited for the possibility of an Ohio State Clemson final, because another thing we learned on Saturday is Nick Saban's defense has some holes. To give up 49 points in his first meeting with Lane Kiffin, his former assistant, like that game was one of the most fun, like first 55 minutes of football that I've seen in years, just because it looked like every single possession, it was more of a Big 12 game than maybe any Big 12 game I've seen since the Patrick Mahomes Baker Mayfield game. So that was great. But I know what Robert's most excited about. Same thing that I'm most excited about. It is the defending national champion picking up a big road win in Columbia, Missouri. The defending national champions going down to the Missouri Tigers in Columbia, Missouri, an LSU home game that got moved because of Hurricane Delta. Mizzou has found a quarterback, the redshirt freshman from Dayton, Ohio, Connor Bazelak. He threw for 400.
Let me hear the credit.
Connor Bazelak.
Let me hear the credit.
What?
Give me the credit. Give me the credit.
Yeah, you know what? I thought Sean Robinson should start the season. He was the number 1 rated recruit in TCU history, quarterback recruit. I thought he was our best starter because he could be a game changer who could throw and run. But I was wrong and Robert was right. Robert thought it should be Bazelak from the beginning. And Bazelak, in his first game this year as starter, his second game overall, had a better quarterback rating than Drew Lock did in any of his 31 games, any of his 31 conference starts. That is absolutely insane. The LSU defense was atrocious. Like there were literally a couple of plays where it was pitch and catch. I don't know what's going on with Bo Pelini, how that defense was so awful. And I mean, we can laugh at that some too. I certainly did. But Mizzou has the quarterback, and we might actually be good. So either of y'all want to take it away?
What, take away the
I mean,
credit
yeah, it
from
was
Mizzou
very-
because they have 2 losses other than that victory?
Lost to
Oh,
Alabama.
come on, man. Did you see who they
Tennessee.
play?
I know, I saw.
You're just
But
trolling
also-
us, right?
Tennessee's
I'm just
good.
trolling.
And I
Of
hate
course
to
I'm
say it-
trolling.
I hate to say it that Tennessee's actually good, but they are. They played Georgia well this week.
Yeah.
Georgia, right? This weekend, was it?
Yeah, they played them well for a half.
I think what's interesting, okay, Oklahoma and Texas went to quadruple overtime.
Yes.
Things that you didn't mention. Also, the Florida upset. Texas A&M beating Florida. Huge.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And yeah, and what
Florida
you said
just
about
fired their defensive coordinator today. They fired Todd Grantham.
probably because of that game.
Probably.
And what you said about Saban is, come on, you gotta understand at this point, Kiffin's gonna be his weakness, his kryptonite. That's like his child.
Could you
It's like
imagine
his, like-
Kiffin beating Saban? The meme.
Oh man, it would
All
be
of-
crazy. He would have reacted. Kiffin would have reacted like he won the national championship. I
I'm
bet.
sure. Although
It would have been
the entire game, if you saw the entire game with Kiffin, he had the same facial expression the entire time, which was like a kid asking his dad if we're there yet. Like that is Lane Kiffin's
Why does he
facial
love
expression.
Alabama so much?
What?
Why does Kiffin love Alabama so much?
He was Saban's offensive coordinator for 3 years. He basically, after he got fired from USC, people were like, "Well, is this the end for Kiffin? What is he gonna do next?" And people didn't think Nick Saban was actually going to go out and hire him. And Nick Saban hired him to be offensive coordinator. He modernized that offense, and then Saban would just yell at him a lot. It looked like a dad like talking to his disappointing son sometimes on the sideline, just being really upset, like, oh man, like he ran the car into a wall again. Like that's what it looked like their conversations were. Is Brian there?
So what's next?
Wait, I'm gonna see if real
So is
quickly
Brian
if
gonna
I
say
can
something else?
if I can find the stat. Yes, okay. This is one of the craziest stats I've ever seen from the Ole Miss Alabama game. Ole Miss's defense prevented 41 total yards of offense. What that means is Alabama had 11 drives. Alabama had 11 drives, scored 9 touchdowns, and Ole Miss forced a punt at the 40, and Alabama fumbled the ball at the 1. So there were 764 possible yards given field position that Alabama could have had on Saturday night, and they had 723. So, I mean, Alabama's offense is really good, and Ole Miss's defense is apparently really bad, but that's still incredible. Like to be have 723 out of 764 total yards. That's why Saturday night it was like probably nothing I've ever watched before outside of Mahomes versus Mayfield, Oklahoma versus Texas Tech. But yeah, that's all.
No matchup next Saturday
What?
that really intrigues me. Oh wait, there's just one of them.
What?
It's Georgia and Bama.
Oh, Georgia Bama should be
There's
a lot
only
of fun.
one game next week that really intrigues me, and that says
Well,
Bama in Georgia.
I'm
It's the only
of
matchup
course,
that
I'm
really
just
intrigues me.
I'm really of course disappointed that Mizzou's game got postponed because
You know
of
what?
Vandy's.
I'm calling
Well-
it. Georgia wins.
See, I was gonna say that too. I was gonna ask everybody, but I'm picking Georgia too. Alabama's defense just did not look that impressive. I say Georgia puts up 6 touchdowns on them. It's like, I mean, Ole Miss put up 49.
You think Georgia wins?
Yeah, Georgia wins
You think Georgia wins this game?
45-38. Yeah.
I think Alabama will win, but whatever.
Oh, by the way,
Georgia's defense looks really.
since Brian brought up Oklahoma, Texas, the fun thing there is I there was a parlay that I had that didn't hit, but it was Oklahoma -3 was one of the component parts, and at that time it was still possible. Oklahoma -3. So when
I'm talking
Oklahoma
about
missed
that.
that, I was just gonna say Oklahoma missed that
I'm talking
game-winning
about
field
betting.
goal.
We're like $5 left in our account.
Yeah, I know, but still, it was a funny story that how Oklahoma missed that game-winning field goal in like the second or third overtime. It was like that saved that parlay temporarily because it meant it was possible that Oklahoma would still win by more than 3, and they won by 8.
We're
So
on a bet. We're on a
props to
bet.
the Oklahoma kicker for missing that kick.
We're on a bet streak right now.
Yeah, that's one way to put it. I think I had 2
Let's
hits.
move on to NFL. What? Okay, yeah, you did. It was like $3.
Yeah.
So
We're
NFL,
down
I mean,
so
the
much.
biggest news yesterday was Dak Prescott, the injury, very gruesome. I do not recommend you see the video of it. It's gruesome. And he's out for the year. He had surgery yesterday. It was successful. But their backup is Andy Dalton, who's going to be the star now. And what do you guys think is next for the Cowboys?
Yeah, I can go. Yeah.
Hello?
What could be next for the
Is
Cowboys?
Brian okay?
I'm just hearing a
I've
lot
been
of feedback.
freezing in and out.
Okay, I don't know if
I've
I'm
been
hearing.
freezing in and out, so it's
Okay.
not just you guys.
Okay. Also, I've been
It's
hearing
definitely me.
feedback. I don't know what that's from, but anyway, yeah.
Mine.
I could see with Andy Dalton, assuming that Andy Dalton stays the starting quarterback, there are some interesting scenarios we could go into. One was that now that Dwayne Haskins was benched in Washington, there could be a trade there to bring him to the Cowboys, which would be, I would love that, to see what he could do behind that offensive line. I would love to see, the Cowboys.
Who said that?
What?
Who mentioned that trade? Well,
Some
I mean, it's kind of odd. It's kind of hard for me to believe that the Washington Football Club in the same division would trade like a quarterback towards their like rival.
I understand that, but if it's in the best interest of both teams,
I mean,
if they get
the
some
Redskins
picks
don't
back,
care anymore. They quit on him too early, and I'm pissed
you
about
mean
it.
the Washington football team?
Yeah, them.
Yeah, no, I agree. They quit on him too early, and to see what he could do behind like a legit offensive line like that with legit weapons, I would be really excited about that. But even with Andy Dalton as starting quarterback, which I assume is going to be what's going to happen for the rest of the year, Cowboys can still win the division, just because that division is so awful, and I would still have them.
They might win the division with a negative record.
They could go 7-9. And win that division with Andy Dalton as quarterback. And also, don't completely sleep on Andy Dalton. I mean, he was good enough to lead the Bengals to the playoffs. Like,
and they have good
times.
Weapons. No, Cowboys.
I
have good
agree.
weapons.
I agree. This is the
weapons.
first time.
I think they won the division even with a negative record, but they have really good weapons for him.
Yeah, this is the first time that Andy Dalton all of a sudden has an offensive line that like can actually protect him, and like in a while. So and there's weapons around him. There's wide receiver weapons all around, and he has Ezekiel Elliott to bail him out.
And also, he's back in the state where he played his college ball.
Dude, he that's his home state. He lives in that's where he lives.
So not only the home state, he went to TCU, which is located in Fort Worth.
Look, here's the thing with Andy Dalton, and like it's not like Andy Dalton made the decision to sign with the Cowboys partly because of the whole COVID situation. Because the whole COVID situation was happening, and he knows that he's from Dallas.
He also doesn't want to be the backup to Joe Burrow.
No, but he also wanted to go back home. He wanted to go someplace that's familiar. And if you're going to be the backup anywhere, rather be the backup where you grew up back home than any other place in the world. So I don't know. I feel like it's a great situation for Dalton. I feel like the Cowboys made a really great decision to sign him at the beginning of the offseason because these things might happen. And it
It did.
happened. And it's horrible that it happened. It's horrible. Don't get me wrong. I'm more interested in how this affects Dak's contract prospects afterwards.
Yeah, 'cause
Like,
he's franchise tag.
he's franchise tagged. I could totally see him signing with the Cowboys
franchise tag.
again for like a discount now. So I don't know. Like,
I don't know because other teams might jump on that.
Yeah.
that's the other thing too. Other teams might jump on Dak too. But
I mean,
what?
if I'm a team who's got the money, I'll just throw money at him because you know what he can give you.
But you got to understand also the NFL is changing and there's drafting quarterbacks left and right. So like it's like I mean I don't know if like I'm ready to like all of a sudden toss a lot of money on Dak if it's like I don't know. I mean who would do it? The Washington Football Club.
How great would that be if he was great?
You
for
know
them?
what? The Eagles.
No, why? They have Jalen
Everyone
Hurts.
sucks right now. Oh, right.
They
Okay,
have
they got
Jalen Hurts as their back like to like
Okay. I'm good. I'm okay with that.
I love how like I can see you thinking. I don't know,
No,
but
not
yeah, I don't
Steelers.
know. What's your top what's your point on this topic, Robert? Then
I mean, my point is that they're still going to win the division. I believe the other teams suck. The division sucks entirely. I mean, the Giants freaking suck. They had their best game of the season yesterday, and they still lost. The Redskins, they show promise, but they're still going to be the Redskins. The football team.
I wasn't even gonna say anything that time.
The football team. They have the Eagles are finding receivers out of nowhere. We saw last week Travis Fulgham came out of nowhere, and this week he was our top receiver. But apart from that, they're not doing much. They lost yesterday to the Steelers. I mean, I don't think Aldi Dalton's bad. I always thought he was good, but I just think the only thing he could do was just be a good pocket passer. And now he just got great receivers in an offensive line. So I
mean,
just
he's
think
mediocre.
He's mediocre at best. And
Yeah, but mediocre might be enough.
exactly for what you need there. So, I think the Cowboys are going to make the playoffs, but they're one and done team in the playoffs.
I know we all think it's unlikely. Let's say the Cowboys win a playoff game. Like, let's say Andy Dalton.
Here's the thing we're not considering is they have other injuries. They lost another player yesterday for the entire season.
Yeah, but I mean, playoffs, anything can happen. And
the defense,
week to week, anything can happen.
The defense is pretty average.
There's injuries left and right in the NFL right now.
So what if the Cowboys? What if Andy Dalton impresses, like legitimately impresses, and they finish 8-8 and they win a playoff game? Like, what does that do to Dak's contract?
You think you'd rather have Andy Dalton in the future than that?
No, I'm saying though it's leverage. They
what if he impresses? If he impresses, then what? You can let that go if you want.
Close to the quarterback that Prescott is.
What?
No, but I'm saying you would still want him over Andy Dalton, of course, but it's leverage in the conversation. Hey, we're not quite as desperate. We actually have a QB that we know can lead us to the playoffs.
I don't think that they have to be that desperate. There is so many QBs in the league. Like, it's so hard. Like, it's just so hard to measure Dak because of how awful the NFC East is, in my opinion. It's so hard to measure Dak because of how awful that division is. Because that division is always a toss-up. Because Dallas Cowboys is America's team. Because of whatever. Because I've seen Dallas and I've seen Dak play horribly.
Let's stop saying that. Let's not say I hate that narrative. The Cowboys are America's team. They ain't my team. They ain't your team. They ain't Seth's team.
But that's
Not
what that.
America's team.
But it's not. It's not.
Stupidest narrative
It's
I've
not
heard.
about you. It's not
Football.
about me. It's about the ton of people that watch high school football in Texas that tune into the TV, and all of a sudden, that's why it's America's team, because that's a team that gets ratings. That's why the CBS puts Tony Romo to freaking put up and Jim Nantz on their games. Like, it doesn't even matter how awful they are. They're still gonna play in Thanksgiving.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's not up to
The
you
Cowboys
and
are
me.
the Cowboys. Yeah.
It's not up to you and me. That's America's team.
Like the Yankees.
Maybe Texas.
Yeah. Like, it's like the Lakers.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry,
Yeah.
Robert. Like the Lakers. The Lakers are like, you don't see the Celtics and the Cowboys and the Yankees. No, you don't.
I know it's
You
The
see
glamour
Lakers.
franchises.
the Yankees and Cowboys. It's it's the Lakers, Yankees, and Cowboys. Is how it's always been. But it's kind of stupid because I just don't find it being America's team. Like, I just think it's a stupid narrative.
I mean, I think it says something that they've been mediocre for so long and still get the ratings they do and still get the attention they do. That says something.
I think it's partly because of Texas.
Mhm.
Texas is synonymous with football, and we have
Also,
to.
they have the only owner in the NFL that like people who don't watch football know about. So like Jerry Jones is a cartoon character to people who don't even watch football. So that plays a part into it.
Yeah, Jerry World.
Yeah.
I don't even know what Jerry World's referring to. Is it an amusement park? Can he make an amusement park called Jerry World? I think it will
could.
sell a bunch of tickets if he does.
Jerry World, the amusement park, would just be like somebody would be giving you Botox and
You get on the yacht.
yeah, you get on the yacht.
Raft on the yacht experience. That's the ride I want to take.
Mm-hmm. And then everybody would be telling you that you should have never fired Jimmy Johnson. That
Oh
just
yeah, that
part
that's
of
gonna
the
be
Jerry
endless
World experience.
conversation.
He
Jerry
shouldn't have, though.
Jones. He should have never fired
He shouldn't
Jimmy
have.
Johnson. I think that's the curse. I think Jimmy Johnson is cursing Jerry Jones
Yes,
for life.
We had the curse of the Billy Goat in baseball, and we have the curse of Jimmy Johnson in football. That's wow.
I believe it, man. I totally believe it.
Let's move on to the next topic. We got two more in the NFL, and then go to the last topic and try and finish this by like at least 7:20 because I want to see the Dodgers. So do you actually think Jimmy G is the guy for the 49ers, or should the 49ers look for another quarterback?
I can't just like assess on this
last
week.
year during the playoffs, they won because of the run. And when they got there, Jimmy G sucked in the Super Bowl. And then I know yesterday he was coming back from injury, but he's done those throws before, even when he wasn't injured, and it's pretty bad. I'm hearing rumors that the 49ers might look to trade for Matt Ryan.
Where are you hearing your rumors from?
Bleacher Short Report and all that.
Was it a birdie?
I don't know.
But here's my real opinion. I think you need a little bit more time to assess here. The guy's just coming out of injury. Like, you can't just like totally assess on this game. However, you got to consider that he might not be your guy. Like, it's not I'm not saying like here you heard rumors at the beginning of the year like with about Brady. So it's not like it's not a far-fetched thing. Hey man, I'm gonna actually like throw something out there, Robert, that you might not like. But what if Aaron Rodgers leaves the Packers to go to the 49ers? His childhood team. The one that he grew up loving.
The childhood team that passed him in for Alex Smith. For freaking Alex Smith.
Hey man, Sometimes people forgive, man. Look, I mean, Dwayne Wade went to
And
the
then after
Bulls,
that, he didn't get picked for 22 more picks.
so I don't know, man.
No.
I'm just saying, I can see the Niners looking for another quarterback, especially because Shanahan is so creative offensively that he can't be anchored
About
down
Dak,
to a
the thing happens
quarterback.
that we were just talking about.
Thought about
What?
that, but just
How about that? How about that thing we were talking about? What did they leverage him? And then Dak decides, hey, let me just go to another team, and he goes to the 49ers.
I just think it'd be too expensive. I was thinking about that during the Dak while we were talking about Dak, but I don't know if he's quite in their budget.
I could
Why?
so see Rodgers go there.
Man, the thing is, I don't know if you saw my reaction, but when you said this might upset Robert at that moment, it took me about a second and a half. And right before you said Aaron Rodgers, I thought it's Aaron Rodgers.
Well, yeah, I totally
What
saw
did you
you like
think,
take
Josh
a
Allen?
step back.
Yeah.
Josh
No,
Allen?
but I could see it happening, of course. Yeah. I mean, it's been 15 years. It's not the same management. I don't think he's going to hold that much of a grudge. And it is his hometown. It's his home team. If he's upset with the Packers, which I could understand, I could definitely, I don't think it's likely, but I could see it happening.
Honestly, I think this is the happiest I've seen Aaron in my 5-6 years as a Packer fan.
I
Yeah.
can see Robert switching allegiance if that happens.
No, I don't see that. He's not going to root for a San Francisco team. He wouldn't do that. With as much as he hates
I don't know. I
San
see his
Francisco.
pensive face right
Even
now. It just
Aaron
makes me
State,
question.
it leaves the team, I'll still be a Packer fan.
You think what?
I mean, Rondo left, and I just stay with Celtics. Like, even my favorite player was Rondo, and then it never left. I mean, of course, I was just a Celtics fan, not a Rondo fan, but like, I still stay with the Celtics. So why would I?
It's not the same when it's Rodgers.
I'm not like Patriots guys, people that rooted for Brady, and now after Brady left, they went to the Buccaneers.
I haven't met one yet.
I
I still haven't met one.
I'm friends with one.
Who said they were Patriots fans and they were just really Brady fans and they just left with him.
I haven't met one yet, so I don't know. Because like I my extent of Patriots fans was in Boston, and like I feel those are true Patriots fans.
Of course, yeah.
Also, like it's not like being a Cavs fan and then LeBron leaving. If you're a Patriots fan, you still got Bill Belichick. You got Cam Newton. You had a pretty good team.
Dude,
it's not like
when Cam went to the Patriots, it's like, man, I was a Jets fan. I'm like, man, damn. Cam's on that other side.
When that happened?
I think so. Yeah, I think
We were
so.
live.
Yeah,
when that
we were
happened.
all on the podcast, dude. I still am hurting.
And I was mentioning Kaepernick to the Pats. I think the week before, and it ended up being.
Hey, why don't the Cowboys sign Kaepernick? Oh, right, because Jerry Jones is very conservative.
Because Jerry Jones is their owner. That's why. Could you imagine if they did though? Like
I got an idea. Why don't the 49ers sign Kaepernick?
I don't mind. I think that
I don't mind it either.
they should.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, that's the thing. I mean, like, to answer the original question, if you want to win a Super Bowl, I don't think he's your guy. I think he's your guy contingent on what else you can get. Because I think he is a good enough quarterback that, I mean, he'll get you to the playoffs.
The years pass and he's getting older. He's like, what, 32 right now? 33?
No, he's younger than that. I mean, wait. Oh, who are we talking about?
Garoppolo.
He's not like 32. There's no way.
No. And also,
I mean,
there's no way
Kaepernick
he's
was
32. But also, you know what I'm afraid of? I'm afraid of, like, for example, what if my Jets are awful? And Sam Darnold's going to go to the market.
Kaepernick's 32, guys.
And if Sam Darnold's in the market,
I was talking about Garoppolo.
If Sam Darnold's in the market and I'm the Niners, I would go for Sam Darnold right away. Because
it makes sense because he go back to California, his home state. No, it's not close to his home, but like home state.
I mean, if I was any team and the Jets put Sam Darnold in the market because they're gonna go picking Trevor Lawrence, which I'm not gonna blame the Jets for if they pick Trevor Lawrence and they give up Sam Darnold.
I'd rather have Jordan Love.
I'm with Seth and putting his hand over his face right now when you mention that. Really, Robert? You're going to take joking. Jordan Love over Trevor Lawrence.
No, I meant Sam Darnold.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. If you're Green Bay in that situation. But
yeah.
I'm just saying that there's a lot of teams that should scoop him up if the Jets like let him go. One of them being the San Francisco 49ers.
Where's Trevor's gonna end up with the Falcons, I think.
Possible.
They look like the worst.
Do you really see the Falcons be worse than the Jets? They don't look worse than the Jets. They don't. They actually put up 40 points a game. There's no way.
Okay. What if they both end on like with no wins? Who gets the pick?
I mean, there's got to be a tiebreaker, but there's no way that both the Jets and Falcons.
There's no way that both teams end with no wins. I'm saying the Falcons have a win, man. They have a win in them.
And the loser can take Justin Fields. By the way, Justin Fields from Georgia.
It would be funny if like the Falcons and the Jets are playing the final game of the season and the Falcons choke.
Wouldn't be funny for Brian.
They're gonna.
I don't know if I mind having like Sam Darnold. I just want Gase out of there. I want Adam Gase out of there.
Here's the thing. Here's my thing. If they haven't done it by now, they're not gonna do it now. They're gonna wait till the end of the season.
Why not now?
Because they know nothing's gonna change.
The only reason why I see why not now is because they're trying to tank. Because at this point, I can't see how, like, taking him out of there is not a sign of positive. Because look at what happened with Bill O'Brien being fired. Bill O'Brien was fired. Romeo Crennel took over. And all of a sudden, the Texans were moving the ball on offense like they should have, like, in the beginning of the season. All of a sudden, Brandon Cooks. I should have started Brandon Cooks all of a sudden.
They were also playing the Jags.
I'm kind of pissed.
Jags don't have an awful defense. They don't.
Yeah, but I mean,
I just saw that Joe Buck is calling this game, and I thought it was.
Oh no.
I like Joe Buck.
Yeah,
I don't like
that. Jimmy might not be the guy in San Francisco, and I can totally see Aaron Rodgers being there.
I mean,
I see more of a possibility of Matt Ryan.
Man, Jordan Love versus Aaron Rodgers in the playoffs. Get ready.
Dude, it's going to happen. It's going to happen.
Can you imagine that Jordan Love in his first season is actually that good?
It's going to happen, and Robert's going to be torn, and it's going to hurt, like, so bad.
I mean, if Aaron Rodgers plays for the 49ers, Seth already knows I'm going to fucking shit on them.
Yeah.
I hate the 49ers.
Oh, man. It would be – if that happens,
I mean, my only love in that game would be Aaron Rodgers, but, like, nothing else.
I don't know, man. I can see that happening.
If they beat us, Aaron Rodgers, I would root for them into the Super Bowl. This is Aaron Rodgers.
What if Aaron Rodgers goes to the Patriots? Oh, my God.
I don't think he's going to end up with the Patriots.
That would be
what
crazy.
What if he goes to the Vikings?
Let's move on. Last topic, last NFL topic. Team that either impressed you or disappointed you this week?
This week?
Yeah.
Yeah. This week, if you're going with impressed, you got to go with the Raiders. I mean, not like the Chiefs have a wonderful defense, but still putting up 40 points.
I mean, dude, they were the best pass defense in the NFL, I think.
Yeah, but I mean, it's not a surprise to see them give up points. It's a surprise to see them give up 40 points, though. Just to see how good that offense looked, see how good Ruggs looked. Yeah, you got to have Oakland as the best surprise of the week. It feels it's crazy that giving up 32 points to Patrick Mahomes seems like it's a win for the defense. If you tell any team the Chiefs are going to score 32 on you, like that's great.
I'll
for
take
any
it.
team playing.
I'll take it. If
Yeah.
I'm the Packers, I'm okay because my offense was.
Oh yeah, if you're the Packers and they score 32 on you, there's a really good shot you won the game. I mean, that's you might have just won the Super Bowl there.
I agree with Vegas pick. I agree with the Raiders, but I'm gonna go a little weird here, and I'm gonna go with the Thursday night game, and I'm gonna go with the Bears. And you know why?
Wait,
It's
surprise
because-
or disappointment?
No, it's not because
What
it's not
surprised me
because
the most with this.
it's Nick again. It's Nick Foles, man. It's talking back to your head coach. It's like all of a sudden, like the fact that they won that game against Brady, the fact that all of a sudden, like it feels like a different team, the Bears, and they're 4-1. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's pretty impressive of a record.
Yeah.
And this is a new quarterback that just came in, bringing new air to the team. So, like, that to me was impressive. Of course, everyone would say the Raiders.
Mhm.
Everyone would say the Raiders.
That's why I had to go before you, so I could say the Raiders and
Oh,
not
good
have
try.
it be a copycat.
Before we continue, I just saw this, and apparently the Knicks are considering trading down in the NBA draft.
The Knicks?
Yeah.
Yeah, because they got an awful, like, number pick. I don't know, man. The Knicks.
Yeah.
What
Again,
are the
okay,
Knicks going to do? They're going to trade for Chris Paul, I heard, maybe?
So you said the Bears. Okay.
I said the Bears. The Bears was the team that impressed
I
me.
mean, I'm gonna say two. I'm gonna say which one impressed me and which one disappointed me, and I'm gonna go with. So, the one that impressed me was like the Browns. They continue to play well, and they did it against a defense that it's top 3 defense in the Colts. Really good defense, and they scored what? How many points?
They didn't win by that
29.
much.
It was was it 20 or 32 once the field goal? Was it 20? Or
Yeah,
either
32
29 or
was field goal.
32.
Yeah, 32-23 was the final score. But still, like they've been playing well, and I don't know. It was like 1995 was the last time they've been this good.
1994 was the last time they started 4-1. By the way, of course, their head coach back then was Bill Belichick, and their defensive coordinator was Nick Saban. And if you look it up, Nick Saban looked older in 1994 than he looks now. But yeah, it's been also. I mean,
Your head coach is Bill Belichick.
Yeah.
Yeah, you didn't know about that?
Yeah.
We fired Bill Belichick. That's something that happened, and he went to the Patriots, and then you probably know what happened after that.
That's your curse. That's the
Yeah.
Browns curse.
I
But
mean, I
here's the
don't know.
thing. The Browns game, what
Why'd
I
you
liked
fire him,
about
Bill?
What?
Why'd you fire him?
Well, he just wasn't good enough.
he had a losing season afterwards, and it wasn't that good.
Yeah,
You should totally look up at your sports history, because Bill Belichick's sports history about Browns, Jets. You should totally look about the Jets, like Patriots one. Like, just look up Bill Belichick history. It'd be very interesting for you, Robert.
Bill Parcells too. I resigned as HC of NYJ.
In fact, watch the 30 for 30 of the two Bills. I don't know why you haven't seen this, Robert.
Well,
Come on, this is sports education here. Sports education.
By the way,
Anyways,
in
Why
case
did
you
Bill
didn't know,
Belichick-
Robert, too, the Browns, there were like 2 years in the late 90s where the Browns just
Bill
didn't exist.
Belichick, Nick Saban with the glass.
Yeah.
Man.
because they became the Ravens.
Did you know that, Robert, that there were
Did
2
you know
years
that
in
the
90s?
Browns, the original Browns, are
they were the
actually the Ravens?
Yeah.
Well, technically, we got to
Remember,
keep
we
the
watched
history.
this. We watched this.
What?
We watched this on YouTube. Remember?
Oh, yeah, that's right. We watched. Yeah, there was this cool video of the
You should watch it,
NFL's
Brian.
first 100 years. It's pretty awesome.
All right.
Like how everything.
Go
I'm going to talk
triangles.
about the Cleveland Browns for a second. Cleveland
Thank you.
Browns got creative offensively this week. I actually watched that game on TV.
Because the other week was the same as well. They got creative.
And I don't know. It's a team that's they look. I think they're playing well. Damn it!
It
I
looks
don't
fun.
want the Browns
It
to
looks
do
fun.
well. I want the Jets to do well. Why are the Browns doing well? This is not fun being a Jets fan anymore when the Browns fans get to like enjoy the freaking season.
It's funny that
I was gonna
Cleveland's better than
say,
you.
I was gonna say, Josiah, Robert, and I, our combined record, I think is 12-2, something like that. Our teams, which is
Wait, what was our
pretty
combined
impressive.
record?
You, me, and Josiah, our combined record is 12-2, right? Packers, Bears.
Why are you putting this? You guys have losses. We don't.
I'm 0-4.
We keep losing. I don't want anything to have to do with you guys. You're losers. I'm
0-5 actually.
What? You're 0-5.
Yeah. Hey, I mean,
By the way, on next Sunday, Brady and Rodgers.
I'm rooting for Tampa Bay then.
I'm gonna root for Tampa.
Really?
because you called us losers. That's why I'm rooting.
Because
Okay.
I'm rooting for Gronk. I'm not even rooting for
See, I was gonna
Brady.
do that, but I was like, I'm not gonna do that live on YouTube.
Yeah, but this video's gonna get cut.
I'm gonna root for Gronk, not even Brady.
Gronk.
Yeah, I'm not rooting for Brady. Although that was, how about that? How about that for surprising? Tom Brady forgetting what down it was. That was something I did not expect to see.
I was surprised that like he like out of all clutch moments, this is a Brady moment, and you're like expecting him to like, yeah, man, like make it your Tampa Bay moment.
Well, that didn't take long. The Braves take a 1-0 lead.
Really?
Yeah. Freddie Freeman hit a home run.
How does your heart feel?
It's 1-1.
Did it take like a bump?
He missed his spot. It was a horrible pitch. He was 0-2 in the count. Then he throws the ball, and then he throws that shit.
I have a question. Do you wear? I mean, I'm not saying it because I wear Jets gear on game day even when they're losing. But do you wear Dodgers gear every game day?
No, not regular season.
Yeah, that would be like every day.
Yeah, it was like 100. I'm not gonna wear it for 100. Just stupid. Just wear like important games.
Like today.
But yeah, and the team that disappointed me. Well, you know what? They won, but it still disappointed me. It was the Seahawks. I mean, they played that badly against the Vikings, a team the Packers destroyed. Yeah, you can say the final score of the Packers game was closer, but like if you see the whole game, the Packers dominated that game from beginning to end.
I don't understand how. I was about to say like they impressed me.
You think they impressed against the Vikings?
It's not about impressing. It's just about getting the game. They were playing awful. And at the end of the day, Russell Wilson.
I'm taking back my pick.
Is literally impressive.
I'm taking back my pick from power rankings that we had. The Packers are better than the Seahawks.
I mean, you could do that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not doing that, but you could do that.
I saw because I watched a little bit of the first half of that game.
You got sacked 4 times. Aaron Rodgers wouldn't have gotten sacked 4 times.
And I saw on Twitter because I was watching the finals, and I saw on Twitter that Seattle went on a 21-0 run in like a minute and 3 seconds, and I was like, "What just happened?" But besides that, I mean, that was basically all the Seahawks had.
Yeah,
for a large part.
Exactly.
Russell Wilson is still playing MVP caliber football.
Okay, you think Russell Wilson is more MVP than Aaron Rodgers right now?
I think it's pretty.
No interceptions. Well, this guy has like 3.
It's got to be Rodgers.
It's still Rodgers, but fine.
I mean, it's QB. And the thing is that you got to make the case with Rodgers. Look who he was thrown into last Monday. Robert Tonyan, a guy who is becoming, I guess, the tight end of the future for them. But, like, not many people knew who he was. And he didn't have Devontae Adams or Alan Lazard. And he's still completing these passes to players that we don't know who they freaking are. While Russell Wilson has Tyler Lockett and DK Metcalf.
Mm-hmm.
And DK's great.
And DK I don't know how that dude ended up so low, like later in the draft. I do not know how. They said he was slow, but He doesn't flow.
Because GMs are not very smart right now. Because I mean, I would have picked him based on his work in. Wasn't it Oklahoma State, right? Was it
Ole Miss.
Ole Miss? So good, so physical.
This looks
Could be a
weird.
tight end.
You know what? I'm just gonna say it looks weird seeing his fans in the stands. Because they don't have the fans have to be like if you're in the outfield, you have to be a little bit higher on the top. You can't be like
Yeah, I saw it in the Dallas game that I could only see fans when a field goal was happening. But you know what's weird? Hey, if we're gonna like, and this is off topic and everything, but I feel like we're almost done with this topic. If we're gonna talk about fans and stands and feeling weird, the French Open had fans in the stands. And it was weird because I was like, at one point I was like, oh, like they're cardboard cutouts. But then you realize that they're like looking side to side at the ball.
Very
was
advanced
like-
I'm just gonna
technology.
mention something about the French Open that I saw earlier this week. So I don't know what her name is, but I know it's her last name is Collins, and I don't know if she was in the in the quarterfinals against one of the best in the world, and her boyfriend was in the stands, and apparently she got distracted by her boyfriend and she was losing. She got so mad that she apparently he was talking to somebody next to him, and he said she was distracted by him, and she said, leave, move. And the dude left. She told her boyfriend to leave.
I would do the same
I
thing.
mean,
back.
if she tells him to leave, you got to leave.
He came back actually, but he moved higher in a sense that you could see him frustrated.
He should have worn a disguise, like fake
frustrated.
mustache and
Like
glasses.
What the hell? How do you tell that to your boyfriend? You're frustrated because of him? No, it's your fault you're losing.
Because you're freaking there and maybe he's talking to another girl, man, and you get jealous while you're playing tennis. Can't get jealous while playing tennis. That's distraction enough.
Did you plan on for that to almost rhyme, or was that did that just happen?
No, that just happened. That was
okay.
I didn't even notice it rhymed. I felt like it.
Oh, well, you said it twice.
Walker.
I figured that you did that on purpose.
It was not at all. That was just like natural.
Okay.
It's funny that in this ballpark we only have one home run in this playoffs, and then Freddie Freeman, the second batter, hits a home run in this fucking ballpark.
Hey, you know what's interesting about current baseball? Man, the second batter all of a sudden became a power hitter.
Who?
The second batter used to be like a freaking on base guy, and now everywhere is the second batter is a power hitter.
The second batter has become the most important batter in the lineup, I would say. Like, I think you either put him in the second place bat, I think.
Like, I don't know. It's weird. When I was growing up, the second batter was like almost as equal to your eighth batter in terms of power. And it was just basically your second batter was just like an on-base guy.
Your third guy, people thought it was like the third guy or like the cleanup hitter. Like, honestly, the cleanup hitter was just for more power. The third base guy was just to get hits like that. But, yeah. Let's go to end this with the power rankings. So we're going to do too early top 10 power rankings for the 2021 NBA season. So you guys can start because I don't have mine.
Okay, I'll go ahead and start.
Since
I went way too long last time when we were doing the coach rankings.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna name the team. Drum roll 10 through 1.
Okay.
At number 10, we have the Dallas Mavericks. At too high or low?
I thought it was too low, but go.
We'll get your opinion later.
Yeah.
I got the 76ers at number 9. I got the Nuggets at number 8. I got this team pretty low. I got the Bucks number 7. I got the Celtics 6. The Warriors 5th.
Oh,
what?
That low?
What?
You have as that low?
Who?
The Celtics?
Yeah. I have you 3rd in the East.
Wow.
You're really gonna hate this because I have you behind Kyrie. And I didn't want to do it, but I did. I got the Nets number 4, Heat number 3. I mean, They were legit. Clippers second, and the Los Angeles Lakers at number 1. Although I kind of wanted to put somebody else ahead of them, just because, like you guys said, they have. It's going to be harder next time. LeBron's going to be another year older, and we can't just assume that every team is going to. We can't assume that the Heat are going to be injured, or that the Clippers are going to engage in one of the most massive chokes in history again.
Repeat that again real quick.
Number 10, Dallas. Number 9, Philly. Number 8, Denver. 7, Celtics. 6, Warriors. 5, Nets. Heat. 4, Clippers. Wait a minute. Okay, I got lost. I think because the Lakers are first, Clippers second, Heat third, Nets 4, Warriors 5th, Celtics 6th, Bucks 7th, Nuggets 8th, Sixers 9th, Mavericks 10th.
Okay.
I'm still formulating mine. Like right now, it's weird. It's very hard. This is very hard.
It was more difficult than I thought, because honestly, like, there's not a huge amount of separation, I think, between like even like 3 and 8. Like you could have them in a lot of different orders. I mean, like, I'm guessing you guys don't think that the Heat should be as high as I had them, but they looked so good in the playoffs, and I think they're only going to get better. Could it be that the Celtics actually take the next step? I mean, like I said, they could win a title, but still I have them at number 6. The Bucks could take that step in the playoffs. They were by far the best team in the regular season.
Yeah.
They could win it. I mean, I wouldn't be shocked if they won a title next year, just because going into the playoffs, they were my favorite, and I think they were a lot of people's favorites.
I got mine.
Okay.
Philly at number 10. I got the Warriors at number 9.
Ooh.
I got the Mavericks at 8. I got the Heat at 7. I got the Nets at 6. I got the Clippers at 5. I got the Bucks at 4. I got the Nuggets at 3. I think the Nuggets are going to make a trade, and it's going to be very beneficial. I got the Celtics at 2, and I got the Lakers at 1.
Where did you have the Clippers again?
5. Below the Bucks.
That's
awfully low.
Yeah.
All right, mine real fast. I got the net.
You know what? Change it. Put the Clippers before the Bucks.
And this is gonna be like kind of controversial for me. I got the Nets at 10.
Ooh, I like it, but I don't agree.
I got the Mavs at 9. I got the Sixers at 8.
Oh, good God.
I got the Nuggets at 7.
Damn.
I have the Warriors at 6. I have the Celtics at 5. I have the Bucks at 4. I have the Heat at 3.
Oh, wow.
I have the Clippers at 2. And I have the Lakers at 1.
You and I share top 3.
And it's because I do think that the Heat are going to be a totally different team next year when you see them in terms of confidence.
I don't know how I feel about that.
What?
I said about that.
I mean, I don't know how you would feel about that.
If I was a Celtics fan, I wouldn't feel great about it.
And I also put the Bucks above the Celtics, but that's just because I feel like the Bucks were really like the better team in the season up until they got to the bubble. So like you can't just like totally forget a regular NBA season with fans
at least
and stuff.
This time around won't have a high enough pick to pick another Tyler Hero.
That's true. He's not.
How can you pick another Tyler Hero?
What?
How can you pick another Tyler Hero?
I mean, like a player like can impact you that his first year like that.
You don't just pick another Tyler Hero. Tyler Hero falls in your lap. That's what happened.
No, because the Celtics were gonna pick him, and the Heat.
That's what you swear was gonna happen.
The Celtics literally said we wanted him.
I just love how you become a child when you like think about Tyler Hero and how much.
Well, because he almost had him twice.
I had him twice, man. You know how hard it was when he left just commit. When he committed to Wisconsin, then he quits for a blue blood. But we hated it so much.
Tyler Hero.
Did you hear? You heard what Nigel Hayes said, right?
What he said?
He said that he was the one who convinced him not to commit to Wisconsin.
Nigel?
Yes.
Why do you care so much about Wisconsin when you don't even attend it?
Let's see.
Am I from Boston? No. Am I from Los Angeles? No. It's the same shit.
How much have you visited Wisconsin before?
Never been to Wisconsin in my whole entire life.
I just wanted, I wanted to see that answer.
I just become a fan because I started watching them in college basketball and I started liking the school.
Yeah. So this is what Nigel Hayes said. This is going to make some people mad. I was one of the ones who advised him not to go to Wisconsin with the talent that he had. I told him the only people who are upset are the ones who are selfish. Only way he can thrive is not walking around thinking he's less than. He's a growing seed.
Well, he only said that because he knew like Tyler had the potential and he's like, this guy's going to be 4 years here. He's going to waste it all.
What do you mean waste it all?
You know how Wisconsin is? Like, you got to stay 4 years.
No, you don't.
You don't have to. But like the thing for people is just staying 4 years.
Yeah, but if you're really good, you're not going to.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Like, dude, just be here 1 year and just leave. What's the problem? You could have at least taken it deep into the tournament. I think. I mean, you got Tyler Hero and Ethan freaking Happ, man.
By the way, I don't understand how he could think that Wisconsin isn't like a program that you can go to the NBA from. Of course you can go and be good in the NBA. And of course Wisconsin can help. They made the national title game. Like, this is a legit program. I would even think if I would want someone to go to Mizzou. Even though
it's not about that. It's about the pros that they create. It's about the pros that they create. I don't know, man. Have you seen Frank Kaminsky do anything lately for you?
But really, though,
what Frank Kaminsky was going to do.
How much do you think that going to Wisconsin would have screwed him up? I mean, I don't think you really make the pros that much. The pros,
honestly, I think it would have helped him mature, but it helped him mature being in Kentucky as well. So,
I think in the NBA, no matter what, just because based on that shot and based on that confidence, you got to understand that to be an NBA player, all the players in the NBA can make a jump shot a bunch of times, and they can do it all the time. It's all about confidence. It's all about confidence.
The thing you can consider is that maybe his style of play would have been different because of the style of play of Wisconsin.
Yeah, but even if he stayed for more than 1 year.
Here's the thing. Sam Decker did it, and he was different.
Yeah, I don't think it would have changed him that much. But on to the power rankings. Does anybody have any major disagreements with anybody's rankings? Like, anybody upset? Like, okay,
I'm not upset. I'm just surprised at number 3 for Brian.
For the Heat, for both of us. Well, we both had the Heat at number 3. Now, Brian, you had the Celtics, or you had the Nets at number 10, right?
Yeah.
So explain your thinking there.
It's mainly I'm waiting to see what Kevin Durant looks after injury.
Fair.
I'm waiting to see what his mobility is gonna be like, to tell you the truth.
That's why oh, come on.
Yeah, come on, Braves.
Dude,
I hear that.
You're gonna get punched. You're gonna get punched.
Muncie's batting right now, and there's a man on first. So But yeah, I was gonna say that's a similar point. That's why I have the Warriors so low. I mean, I have the Warriors so high because I feel like I believe more in the Warriors than I believe in Durant. You know what I'm saying? Like, I believe more in Klay Thompson coming back from injury than I believe more in Durant coming back from injury.
I get that, but I mean, it's not like the Nets didn't have a good foundation this year, and then I agree.
I agree.
I
The
feel
Nets
like you
had a good
add Kyrie
foundation, but
and
their
KD to that.
foundation is totally going to change next year when all of a sudden you
That's
have
fair.
Kyrie and Durant in the rotation, and they're the ones taking like 20 shots per game.
That's completely fair. But I
So
still
like
think
the
yeah.
whole other support cast and the role cast are gonna like struggle to find their shots. Like
Mhm.
it's not. It's gonna like there is talent. Like,
Mhm.
granted, there is talent, but
Huge talent.
there's definitely gonna be some struggle there in terms of like a lot of people finding their roles.
No, that's completely fair.
Like, and for me, in terms of the Warriors have a high pick. They have Curry, they have Clay, they
Again, I
have
think they're going to trade it.
what?
I think they're going to trade it.
They have Draymond. If they have that pick and they can trade it for a top player that will fit their rotation. So
Just
I don't
trade
know.
it. Trade it along with Andrew Wiggins because you don't really need Andrew Wiggins.
What are we talking about, guys? What's happening?
NBA way
top
too
10
early.
power rankings for
NBA
next year.
power rankings.
Oh, good God. What the hell? You just had the finals 2 days ago.
No, we had it yesterday.
I mean,
Yeah.
the Bulls are
Good,
gonna
good
win.
job, Josiah.
Less than 24 hours ago.
Same thing. Bulls going to the finals next year. That's my
So
promise.
yeah,
Oh, good God. Yeah. Maybe the toilet bowl.
Zach Levine MVP.
Billy
That was-
Donovan makes such a difference.
Maybe the
Billy
toilet
Donovan
bowl.
will all of a sudden change.
Hey, Billy Donovan is good, and I think he's going to be good for them.
From worst to
Billy
worst.
Donovan's all of a sudden gonna be the next coming of Phil Jackson and be like the next coming and
You're
be
this
like
guy
the next like
first
best.
and worst.
And we're gonna own the 2020s just like we own the 90s. So
Mhm.
Yeah, totally. Because of Billy.
By
Donovan.
the way, Josiah, I was given our combined teams credit. If you look at Robert, Josiah, and I, our NFL teams are like 12-2, and then Robert was like, "Oh, why you guys both have losses? Why are you putting the Packers with them?" That's my Robert impression, by the way.
And like, well, I'm 0-5.
Yeah.
yeah. You know, Robert likes to gas up his teams and brag about them, so he thinks that his teams are.
Hey,
his teams
I
are
didn't
on
brag.
that.
I didn't brag about anything. I just said, like, why are you putting me in a discussion with teams that have lost? I'm undefeated.
All right. Yeah, you'll lose eventually.
Never lost.
Never lost.
He loves to put his teams in that upper echelon that we're just unbeatable and no one else is on our level. So, I mean, that's what he
I don't
does.
Robert,
that.
I'm surprised that you're not focused at the game right now.
I'm watching it. We got 2 on base. Once you just watch.
Yeah, I love how you clap like while Seth and Brian are talking. So you just took away all their audio. So now people that are listening probably missed a few things that
Come on, Will.
you guys said.
Come on, Fresh Prince. Let's see.
But yeah, but that was my reasoning on putting the net so low.
That was, I was gonna say that wasn't even the worst thing that's happened during this podcast. The worst thing that happened was you saying that your tags have been expired since May.
What?
Robert.
I still my hair. And my license plate expired in May.
Your license plate expired in May. It's like the second time you've had an expired license plate.
Yep.
You gotta watch.
I remember the first time because I was in the car when we got stopped.
Dude, the Dodger just
pulled over.
struck out.
God damn it, Will.
Let's not get pulled over again. That's funny. I love how all the listeners, all the viewers, all 5 of them just heard that
I was talking about how it was Columbus Day. I was wishing everybody a happy Columbus Day, and he realized that's why the DMV was closed. And then he said that I was like, we're on YouTube right now, right?
Also, any Canadian listeners and watchers, happy Thanksgiving.
Yeah, happy Thanksgiving to
Everyone knew that.
Canada. Forget about Columbus Day. I don't like celebrating a person.
gonna pretend I'm Tony
so that's
Kornheiser.
why the DMV was closed.
Chase Claypool.
That's why the DMV was closed.
Chase Claypool. Happy Thanksgiving. Mapletron, come and take the league by storm, baby.
Hey,
4
Chase
touchdowns.
Claypool, how much are you guys betting to like pick him up in the free agency?
I can't. I'm pretty much cleaning house because I'm about to be 1-4. So I'm making some trades and I'm just
A
selling.
little above
Wait,
me.
wait, wait. Wait. Oh, we shouldn't be talking about the fleece of a trade I did yesterday. The freaking fleece of a trade.
Maybe you want to talk about
You guys see that?
No.
I actually think that Seth's trade was the biggest steal of the year.
I mean,
What was his trade?
Seta still hasn't won yet.
Yeah, it's we need a miracle.
I mean, the problem with Seth's thing is he's always freaking injured. They're
also
all
too, I actually considered when Robert wanted me to trade Josh Allen for Dak, I considered that. and glad that I didn't do that. So
I mean, if he didn't get hurt, it wouldn't have been a bad trade because Dak was really good.
no, I was thinking of asking for like Corey Davis too, and like giving you somebody.
Oh,
like for,
you can grab Corey Davis. He's not in my team anymore.
Oh well, might do that. I like Corey Davis. But
yeah.
Yeah.
My teams have just Matt Ryan's been fucking ass the last 2 weeks. Kenyon Drake's been such a huge disappointment.
You know,
he sucks. Like,
let me say,
I just think the players just didn't work out the way they should have. And Kenyon Drake especially, such a huge.
let me say this. At least until this week, Terry McLaurin was doing really well for my team. It was just everything else that I had, everybody else that I had that was awful. But I mean, that was the one that I got all the why. Terry McLaurin actually pretty good this year.
And then Dwayne Haskins got benched, so that probably
yeah. So
yeah. So the thing is, well, I lost Dak, and I'm gonna have my first loss this week. But the trade I made was I traded Tyler Boyd, Robert Tonyan, and J.K. Dobbins for Josh Jacobs, DJ Chark, and Mike Gesicki.
You won that trade.
I didn't want that trade.
Definitely won that trade, and I don't even understand why anyone would accept that trade.
Yeah.
Was that Mike Hawk?
I don't even know why.
It was Mike Hawk.
It was who?
Mike Hawk.
Nice. I don't know what he's thinking. That's a dumb trade. But
hey, Mike Hawk, and listening. The only thing clever that you got right now going for you is your name.
You know,
Robert didn't understand for a little while.
No, we're not talking about your name. We're talking about Mike Hawk.
Mike Hawk, yeah.
And I got whooped by Mike Hawk earlier. So
and he's substance. Then he's like 1-4.
That was the only win against me because my team passed.
But yeah, my new quarterback is probably going to be Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Hey,
a genius right there.
He killed the night. Fitzmagic.
But yeah, apart from that, look at what my team is going to look like. I'm going to have Connor, Darrell Henderson, who played well yesterday, Michael Gallup, Mark Andrews, Stephon Diggs, Scotty Miller, the Ravens defense, who had 26 points yesterday. I'm going to have Chubb, but he's injured, but when he comes back, Devontae Adams, Julian Edelman, Mike Gesicki, DJ Chark, and Josh Jacobs.
You have too many wide receivers.
A lot of wide receivers, but I mean, you can't.
I can trade him if I need to.
And here comes Robert beginning to brag about his team.
Here's the thing. Wide receivers are harder to trade than running backs. In terms, because if you're trying to create a wide receiver into a running back. Change your way of thinking?
I just need a freaking quarterback.
Who are your quarterbacks?
True.
We had one quarterback.
Well, who was the other one? Who was that? Do you not know who that is? Or no, I'm talking about the one. That was your one quarterback? You didn't have a backup?
Yeah.
I don't have a backup quarterback either, so don't.
You want Drew Lock?
I don't get that. I don't understand.
Really?
Like, I don't understand why would you have a backup quarterback? Hey, I'm more curious about Josiah's strategy about needing a backup quarterback in fantasy.
Yeah,
because of the event of an injury that happens, just like the one.
Yeah, but there's a lot of them.
Yeah, but then you treat free agency as your bench.
Exactly. And also, quarterbacks don't get as injured as other positions.
Can I talk, please? All right.
Well,
like it's not always. It's like you don't have to have one really good quarterback and then that's it. You can have two good quarterbacks that you can like start based off of matchups. Because I know in the past I've had good teams. I've had two good quarterbacks, and I could just use them and not have to just throw that guy in there because then what if he sucks one week? You know, then you have another guy, or you have a bad matchup. You have another guy you can just go to and plug in instead of getting rid of someone that could be useful. And I get the whole free agency as a bench thing, but I use that more for like tight ends, defenses, stuff like that. Not with quarterbacks. I like having two quarterbacks.
I tried to trade for Aaron Rodgers, but that wouldn't give me Aaron Rodgers.
No, in terms of like, I don't know, free agent quarterbacks that you could look in, Robert. No.
Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Also,
Ryan
what if you have a
Patrick.
deep league? What if
Who
you have
does
a
who
deep
does
league? It's
who
good
does
that-
Fitzy play next week?
I don't know.
Let's see.
I mean, yesterday was supposed to be a tougher matchup, but
Next week he plays the Jets.
okay. Well, then you
Yeah,
guys-
totally start Fitzy. There is no question about it. That is a perfect
the
play.
quarterbacks in the market. Jared Goff, Ryan Tannehill,
Jared
Daniel
Goff is-
Jones,
Jared Goff is on the market.
Jimmy Garoppolo,
Jared
Ben
Goff-
Roethlisberger, Derek Carr, Kirk Cousins,
Jared Goff-
Baker
Ben
Mayfield, Tom Brady.
Roethlisberger's in the market?
Tom Brady.
That can't be right, dude. Tom Brady's on the
No,
market?
that's not right. Tom Brady's not in the market because and Alejandro
Dude,
has
that
him.
is the market.
That can't be right.
That is the market.
Is this the same league? Are you?
Yeah,
Are you in
it's
another
the
league?
same league. Alan Zuzer's
hell?
still in stocks.
What are you guys doing?
Oh, Tom Brady is in the market.
Dude, because everybody doesn't need two quarterbacks like you do.
Baker's in the market. Why don't you go for Baker?
Dude, because Baker doesn't average.
You might as well.
Barely averages. Look at his fantasy points. 9 points, 15 points, 14 points, 15 points, 15 points.
You might as well have Tom Brady if you only have one quarterback.
He's not a good fantasy quarterback right now.
He had 5 touchdowns 2 weeks ago. What do you mean?
I'd just rather have his
You
plays
need
Green
Tom
Bay
Brady
next
to be on
week.
your team, at least.
Oh, there we go.
That's ridiculous. You guys, yeah, I think a lot of you do.
Okay, I'll have Brady then, or Fitzpatrick.
I'm not telling you to. There could be a better option. Derek Carr was really good yesterday. He forced the team.
Don't sleep on Fitzy against the freaking Jets, man.
I mean,
Hey, just,
I think
Brian, I don't think anyone's sleeping on that at all. I think we're all awake. We're wide awake with Brian Fitzpatrick against the New York
no, wait. Not all of us. Adam Gase isn't.
oh, he looks like he's wide
Oh,
awake. He's like
he's wide awake. His eyes are just.
he's on his fourth espresso of the day. Hey, Josiah,
Oh,
you got your NBA power rankings for next year?
You trying to reset? Sorry.
The Bulls.
Yes, the Bulls 10 times, right? Your NBA power rankings.
Wait, okay. The Bulls
Trash
9 times,
City,
and then put the Hornets at 10. I was a trash city. Wow, low blow right there. But yeah, I put the Hornets at 10, and then the rest is no. Okay, I think. I mean, man, this is like on the spot right now. I mean,
Yeah, it is.
Your top three. At least pick your top three, because me and Seth agreed top three, and Robert wasn't there.
Okay, obviously Lakers number 1. He just won the title. Let's see. No, I'm like thinking about, let's see, Bucks, Clippers, Nuggets, Celtics, Heat. I mean, I gotta put the Heat up there somewhere because after what they just did this year, God, man, this is hard. I think for next year, I'll put the Heat at 2, Bucks 3. Go with that.
Whoa, you have the Heat
Whoa,
higher than
not even
we
the
do.
clip there.
Yeah, what? Look at what the Heat just did.
Yeah,
this
no,
year,
that's
and
what
look at
Brian and
next-
I were saying.
No,
'cause we both have
me-
them at 3.
We both had them at 3, but Clippers with 2.
Yeah.
After what the Clippers just did,
Wait, you had the Heat at 3?
no 2, and then the Bucks.
Oh wow, I had them at 5.
I don't trust the Clippers. Just choked.
Actually, I
this
think I
year.
had them at 6.
If we're going off, I mean, we're also going into next season, but the Clippers are they just choked. I mean, they'll be good again next year. I'm just saying right now. I mean, the Bucks are going to be pretty talented. I mean, you could go with a lot of different teams, but that's just on the spot. If I had more time to think about it, maybe it would change. But that's what I have right now. So, I mean, yeah, Lakers are undoubtedly, of course, number 1, obviously.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah.
have you
How about
guys
that
talked
great win
about?
for LeBron?
Yeah, are you? Wow. Actually, I'm going to say this right now. I think after
After that, LeBron James is the best player of all time.
Of course. Well, nobody would say that's not
But I mean, okay. At this point, I will say this right now because I'm not getting to a debate right now. I don't. But yeah, before I didn't think there was a debate. Now there definitely is. He's definitely slimmed the gap for me. I still take Michael. But
No,
I'll say
that's-
this about LeBron.
That's fair. That's completely fair. I
Yeah.
mein,
I'd say this about. Let me just say this about LeBron. Okay. Well, okay. If he can do a few more seasons like this, win another title, okay, he'll probably go. But for LeBron, I'm going to give him all the credit because, we talked about I know Seth Robert, we have talked about that the 3-1 comeback against the Warriors was his single greatest achievement that he's ever had. And even like the year where he took that Cavs team that their second best player was George Hill to the NBA Finals, they beat the Celtics in 7 games. So it's like that's another great accomplishment. This year, leading that Lakers team to the Western Conference or through the Western Conference, winning the finals in a year like this was the longest season we've ever had with COVID and everything. This is LeBron's greatest accomplishment he's ever had.
Wait, better than coming back from 3-1?
Yes, I think so.
Oh, I don't think it's even close.
Come on. No, all right.
73 wins.
No, I know. But here's the thing. Think about this year. I mean, the hiatus, all of COVID, and the fact that he's playing in the Western Conference this year that people thought that would be tough for him to get through.
And Kobe's death.
The fact that he was able to come back with that team and they're able to gel still, and he was at tip-top shape, playing amazing basketball still, putting up a triple-double throughout the finals, and leading and willing that team to the championship this year in a crazy year like this, something we've never seen before. Yes, I think this is his most impressive accomplishment. I think this is one of the more impressive NBA Finals wins you can have because there's never been a season like this.
I understand that this was a unique circumstance and that makes it impressive. But at the same time, it's not like the Lakers had the hiatus and that's why they had to go through it alone. Some team was going to win the NBA Finals, and some team, I don't think it necessarily makes it more impressive. It makes it maybe a little more impressive, but some team was going to win after this hiatus, and there was a good chance it was going to be the team that was going to win otherwise.
Shit. No,
that's what I'm saying. But he's saying it's more impressive. Some team was going to win, and I mean it was the Lakers, and that's extremely impressive. But
the
it's
team
not.
That won, whoever it was going to be really, really impressive. I think you guys are selling this short. I
agree. It's really, really impressive. Not as impressive as coming back from 3-1 down to a team that went 73-9, in my opinion.
I mean,
not even close.
Warriors lost Draymond Green that series too. So that
for like a game. Yeah.
That changed things a little bit, I think.
We can leave this for next week.
It changed things a lot, but I mean, he still got it done and he was still back.
I disagree. I think that this year, think about being a team and just having to stop playing for several months, and then to come back at a bubble, just a random location with all these other teams playing and going through all that. Easily, they could have been plucked off.
But every team could say that. Every team could say that.
Yes, I know. But that doesn't make it. If any other team did, it wouldn't make it that. It would have still been really impressive. If the Bucks were to win, the Clippers win, that would have been really, really impressive. And I would be saying that it's one of the more
I just feel like you have to judge. You have to judge against their competition, and the competition was people doing the exact same, going through the exact same thing that they went through, as opposed to 2016, where the competition was the greatest regular season in NBA history, in a 3-1 deficit.
But you're playing. But it's not.
I agree with Seth here, but I'm just gonna say that.
But it's not every team was equal. He played really tough teams. The Denver Nuggets, they had come back twice from 3-1 down, and they beat that team. They beat a Heat team that was riding high, that had just run through the Eastern Conference.
But I mean, they
but
played
you can't consider. You can't wait. Hold on. Let me get this one. You can't consider the Heat team as the same level of competition as that Warrior team. Like you can't, even with how hot they were, you're still talking about a 5 seed in the Eastern Conference versus probably the best regular season team ever.
It is the best regular season team ever.
I'm not even talking about the fact that yes, of course, no shit, the Warriors are a better team than Miami Heat, but I'm talking about the circumstances. I'm talking about COVID.
I actually think it helped. It helped. They got more rest.
Thanks for interrupting me. But the fact that you got what has transpired this year with COVID and having to work your way back and stay in game shape and stay with it. Remember, beginning of the bubble, they were struggling a little bit, trying to find the rhythm, and then they did. It's okay. Yes, you can say what he did against the Warriors, the 3-1 comeback was amazing. But I think with the fact that he had to come back during this season, which was the longest season ever, this ended in October. It's the circumstance. That's why I think that's what makes it more impressive. Not because of the teams that he beat, but because of what they were up against this year, what he was
Yeah.
up against this year. That's what
Yeah,
I
but-
think. And the fact that it was dominant at 35 years old, dominating still. I mean, come on.
I
feel
think
you guys are
Robert
selling-
makes a good point though, especially being 35 years old. The extra rest can help. If you're 35 years old, a 4 month hiatus is probably going to be better for you than it is for a 25-year-old.
You played almost a year. You spent the year of the season. I mean, that's like the whole year, like a full year.
Well, players still do that. It's 3 months of
And by the way, I would guess that LeBron had a better setup than most people when it comes to staying in shape. Like, he's LeBron James. Like, NBA players have a lot of money, yeah, but LeBron James could probably afford better ways of staying in peak physical condition than just about everybody else in the league. Not saying it wasn't super impressive, but
yeah, okay, but you guys don't think that the bubble was a grueling thing for all those players? You guys don't realize.
I'm sure it was, dude. I'm sure it was, but
I'm sure it was,
but the thing is, everybody had to go through it. It's like if you're talking about a college football game and all of a sudden it became from 11-on-11, they decided to go 8-on-8. And one team, could you say, well, it was more impressive because they won, it was only 8 players. Yeah, but everybody else had 8 players too. Like, everybody else was going, and to still get through it is impressive. I agree with that. And I mean, to kind of be not play well as they did and then bring it back and have LeBron be at that level at 35. Yeah, that's incredibly impressive. But every other team was dealing with incredibly difficult circumstances too. So it doesn't make them winning a championship over those other teams. It's not more impressive for the Lakers than it would be for anybody else.
I'm not saying it's more impressive. I'm saying it's more impressive for LeBron this thing. And I'm saying that I'm comparing that to the 3-1 comeback. And that it's just like the fact that you have to stop playing and then come back after months and months of not playing. We weren't even sure there'd be a season. And then you come back and teams were rusty early on. And yes, the other teams, they had the same exact shot. But it's the fact that, and at an older age, that he's still been able to play like this, and then he's able to lead this team into the finals and win it. And people have that notion that winning this finals with an asterisk next to it, and it's not that impressive. No, it's more impressive to me because of what's been happening this year, and not just COVID, but social justice and everything that's involved. During a time like this, we've never had a season like this. The fact that you can win a title during this, I think it makes it more impressive because of the grueling days of playing these games. And before that, from what we all had to go through this year. And this is the longest season we've ever had. And I think because you win a title during that, I think it's very, very impressive.
I just think a championship is a championship is a championship. I don't put an asterisk next to this one in any way because you're still going up against the same teams you would have gone up with. I agree it was very grueling for everybody, I'm sure. And I mean, hopefully we never have this circumstance again. And it was incredibly impressive for 35-year-old LeBron, year 17. You could argue year 18 almost because it's October, doing what he did. But to me, that's not even close to 3-1 deficit against the best regular season team of all time. Not even close.
Why is it not close then, Seth?
Because it's 73 wins. It's the best regular season team of all time, and no team has ever come back from a 3-1
and it was Cleveland. And it was Cleveland. And you have to think that it was Cleveland. It wasn't the Lakers. It was the place that everyone thought it was impossible for them to win.
Yeah, it was the place.
I like doing different voices when I like to get animated.
Is that your accent you use when you talk about Cleveland?
Yes, maybe.
your Cleveland voice. But yeah, the fact that it was Cleveland, the fact that he was there for 7 years and then left, and all the heat he took for leaving, and then he won 2 titles in Miami, and then he came back. I mean, he came back to Cleveland. Who thought that was going to happen in 2010? And then to go first season, all the injuries to Kyrie, injuries to Love. And then in the second season to play a Warriors team that was better than the first season and be down 3-1 and lead that team. Remember when in that press conference, when they asked him something like, "Are you nervous?" and he says, "No, because I'm the best basketball player in the world." We saw how it turned out. I mean, to me, this isn't even close. I would almost put making the finals with the 07 Cavs up there before this, because he had to score 34 of 35 against the Pistons in Game 5, a Pistons team that was really good, that had won a title and been to another finals.
I mean, yeah, you say that. And LeBron, though, this year is his second year with the Lakers. Last year didn't make the playoffs. And then you take them from there to win the title. Yes, they got Anthony Davis. They got more pieces. That team wasn't even the most talented team this year. And he still was able to lead that team to win it all. I mean, I think also something needs to be said about that, and with the circumstances that happened. I don't know. I just feel like that is his biggest accomplishment. And then you get into the 3-1. I mean, it's very close, I think. It's not like – to me, I think it's very close. And I think if you think it's the 3-1, that's fine. I believe that this year – was different, was a very different year. And I think winning a title during all of this, I think people need to respect that. That's something that's amazing. That's huge. It's unlike anything I've ever seen.
I would agree with that. Let me just say too, I know I like to go with LeBron when we talk about the greatest player ever thing, but I completely agree with you that it's a legit conversation, and I totally get anybody picking MJ or anybody picking LeBron, because I think it is really, really close, and you can make legit arguments for both of them. I mean, LeBron has the benefit of time where he has more years left. He can win another MVP, as you've predicted. He is going to be the leading scorer in all of NBA history, by all probability, once things are done. But it's you. There are two GOATs. There are two absolute GOATs who are above all the rest, and they both deserve. I think they both kind of deserve that title, because what they've done in their generations is truly incredible.
Yeah, and the thing is, just a few more things. I mean, like that whole debate. It's like something that we. Too busy. I think in general we have just arguments about anything as people. Like if we believe one way, then we hate the other way, and we're haters. Like if I think that Michael's the greatest of all time, that automatically makes me a LeBron hater. Of course, I don't like LeBron, but I absolutely appreciate what he's done for the game, and I love. And it's amazing to watch.
I just feel like if Josiah was from Cleveland, he would think LeBron's better.
That's probably true.
I mean, and people think okay, well, for me being born in Illinois, they think that that's a bias thing. I look at it from both sides. I truly do. And I just still think that right now I still would take Michael over MJ. But like I said, if LeBron can put a few more years of this and then win another title, then yeah, he's the GOAT. And then, I just completely forgot my second thought.
I'll also say, being from Ohio and watching LeBron growing up, and having that be maybe the reason I became a sports fan, because the 04-05 Cavs were the first team that I actually really followed. And that probably would not have happened if we didn't have LeBron. I'm willing to admit that biases me. That definitely biases me, just because, I mean, I got to witness that greatness, and it was formative in my youth.
I just want to say, okay, I remember my last thought. So it's just because of course this always happens. It's LeBron does something big and you start comparing him to Jordan. But it's when you just appreciate his greatness just on his own and not have to compare him to LeBron. Give LeBron his damn respect. That's what he said last night. He said. And that's what we should be giving him. And that's what I'm giving him.
I've been giving him a long time.
Absolutely.
I just want to ask Robert and Brian, on a scale from 1 to 10, how bored are you with the last half an hour of discussion that Josiah and I have had?
I just thought I was going to start watching the Dodgers game 15 minutes ago, and you just kept talking. Oh, shit!
I started watching that. That led to nothing. It was a pop-up to center. I started watching a podcast about my industry.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, well, I just thought I'd bring it up because I thought something that needed to be said, and especially it's fresh because they just won the finals.
Should have swung at the first pitch. It was a curveball upstairs.
But just last thing, just give him respect. He is part of the reason why I got into basketball. And the thing is, I'm going to appreciate him while I'm soaking his greatness in while I was. And yeah, I don't like him, but I still love watching him play. And it's going to be a sad day when it comes time for him to retire because,
Dude, that's
like,
gonna be a heartbreaking
as
day for me. Oh my God.
And as I've said in the past, like he's had him and his teams have had rivals with my teams, and like without that, like he's part of the reason why the game got more entertaining for me because of the rivalry, the tension. That makes the game better. That makes it more fun to watch. And when they lose that, like where the rivalries will be gone, just being able to play against him, that's what made this sport so. As much as I don't like him, as much as that made me dislike him.
What? What's up? Sorry.
He's doing that on purpose, and it's funny.
I hear
What's
the
up?
Puerto Rican accent coming out of there. I know.
Oh, sorry.
You're good.
I thought you did that on purpose, though, right?
No, I didn't. I
It kept
didn't at
getting
all.
louder and louder,
Yeah,
like
guys, I think
progressively.
we should-
It was like
talk
until
about
they
this next
noticed and
week.
they shut up. That's what I thought it was.
Guys,
No, not at all. It was not at all
Okay.
on purpose. If it worked, it worked.
Yeah, we can finish. We can just go through this again next week and talk a little bit more in depth.
Yeah,
Want to have a LeBron versus MJ debate? I'll be down to
I'm
come
not
and
gonna
present
do it.
myself.
it's very fresh.
I don't
It's
want
very
to keep doing
topical.
those debates.
I don't
so
think anybody's ever had that debate before, so we'll be the
Oh
first.
no, it's never
It's
happened.
like
It's
it's
not,
new
it's not like
thing.
it's every 5 days on first week.
One of you be Skip, I'll be Stephen A. Let's go.
No, but wait, but we haven't had it on. This
We got what's his name? The guy that I hated from ESPN. Will Kane. You're Will Kane.
Oh God.
I like Will Kane.
Oh,
Nobody-
good God, man!
Wait, you like Will Kane?
I do.
Who the hell likes Will Kane?
Me. I do. So hold on. Wait, we haven't had a.
Wait, let's have
debate.
I want to have a Will Kane debate.
Like, I don't see why we can't do that at some point.
I'm willing to have a Will Kane debate.
Yes.
It's like it's still up in air my feelings about Will Kane.
I hate that dude.
No, but like
I like him better than Doc Gottlieb.
I mean, he's on
Yeah,
Fox now. I hate.
he didn't steal a credit card, so he's got that for him going for him.
So I
Well, I
still
don't-
like him better than Doc Gottlieb, but he's
Mhm.
still
I mean, I prefer him.
a
fucking Skip
pain in the
Bayless.
butt. Maybe.
Anyway, I hate fucking Skip Bayless. So I don't like Stephen A. Smith that much either. It's just like he is.
I don't like
entertaining.
Stephen A. anymore. I feel like he's a sellout.
I love Stephen A.
He just says.
I like
I
Stephen
feel like he's really a sellout, but that's just my feeling. Anyways, I gotta go, guys, because my
Yeah.
daughters.
I'm hungry, so let's end this.
I don't care.
All right. Good talk, everybody.
Anyways, my tag is at BRiosPR. This might be my last podcast, but I might come back as a guest, like upcoming. But hopefully, everyone keeps tuned. I'm taking a little break to write a script, and that's really the reason why I'm taking a break. Once I complete the script, I'll be back.
Once you
But I
complete
really
that
have
script,
to take time.
Here in 9 months.
you're gonna
What?
be like Jordan wearing the 4-5. You're gonna come back.
Yeah, I'll come back wearing the 4-5 from Jordan. Maybe the Toon
Mhm.
Squad one. I don't know. But
mean, if-
but yeah, I need to take a break to write a script, and that's my main reason why. Because I feel like let's just say I feel like the creative juices have been flowing. And I actually like, just to end this podcast, I'd actually like to recommend people watch, if you have HBO Max, watch Charm City Kings.
Okay,
Watch
I just
it.
got HBO Max because I forgot to end the trial.
Watch Charm City Kings.
I'm watching
Puerto Rican
Entourage.
director actually.
Okay. I'm watching
Uh,
Entourage on HBO Max.
Puerto Rican director actually directed it, Angel Manuel Soto, and he might be the future. Like, honestly, it's a really great film. I don't want to say much about it because I feel like I would be giving anything away. It's a really great film. It's a coming of age story, and the grittiest you can ever feel. If you like The Wire, you're gonna love this film. That's the way that I feel about it.
What's
So
it called again?
definitely watch Charm City Kings.
How long is this podcast going on for? 3 hours?
Well, it would have been at 2:30, but now it's like 3 hours and 40 minutes.
Like
But anyways, peace out, guys. Robert, you want to sign us off?
Yeah. Again, he said his tag. My tag is at Rob Sozer on Twitter, at sports_Atson.
At Seth Pollock.
And I don't know what this loser is, but
At J.H. Schuneman. Schuneman spelled
Wasn't it at Dumb Bears Fan 2020?
Yep. No, 101.
Oh, 101. Yeah.
So funny. J.H. Schuneman, SCHUENEMAN. If you want to talk about why MJ's the GOAT, let me know. All right.
I mean, nobody believes that, but okay. So this will be the end of this podcast. We'll see you next week, guys.